so this is all of us for today, which is very weird.
Until
Everyone
until
on
Audrey
Nameless
comes back.
Yeah, about that. Audrey won't be coming back. So, I'm sure you don't need me to remind you, but last session you you set off to go to Pentagon Cove after stories of a undead crew and ghost ship had been terrorizing the seas around Waterdeep. You managed to get on board another ship, and they happily, to start with, transported you to, well, just outside of Pentagon Cove. They weren't going to go all the way inside. It's quite a big ship. It's shallow waters. That wasn't going to happen. On the way there, things seemed to be going okay. And then they went very, very wrong when Endo accidentally killed a member of the crew. And Gideon wanted to finish the other member of the crew off to try and cover up the crime. Thankfully, calmer heads prevailed as Airdrie kind of made her way downstairs and was like, okay, what the heck has gone on here? And managed to speak to the captain and kind of straighten it out. The captain clearly was not very impressed with what was going on the ship, but they still took you to where you needed to go. And then they headed off, saying that they would let... I can't remember her name. What was her name? The woman that was... Molly, that's it. Let her know that you needed to be picked up because, yeah, the crew were just not going to be hanging around. As you made your way in your little rowboat towards the cove, I think it was Duramiah, saw that deep under the water you could see quite a large vessel down there, which was the ghost ship, and there were two ghostly apparitions down there that seemed to be unloading something from the ship and putting it into this sunken rowboat and back and forth, and then eventually they raised up to the surface of the water and rowed themselves into the cove itself. You guys followed them on your rowboats and jumped onto the kind of decking area. As you were kind of wandering about, lots of skeletons raised up from the waters around you and began attacking. As Endo kind of made his way around to kind of this-ish area-ish, he became aware of this gigantic cannon that suddenly sprung to life, seemingly with nobody like directing it or reloading it or anything like that. It seemed to just be able to function on its own as it started firing cannonballs at various members of the party. Endo took one in the chonk and squashed, tied against a wall. It was all very chaotic. Endo ran up to try and fight the cannon, hand-to-hand combat with the cannon, as it continued to fire across at Gideon and Airdrie, who were lagging a little bit behind due to the way that the combat had gone. And unfortunately, it hit our friend Airdrie and blew off her head, killing her in, well, 2 shots technically, because she withstood the first one, but the second one she did not. Gideon, in an absolute rage, having witnessed the fact that her friend had just been splattered next to her, threw a chaos bolt at the cannon and did some significant damage. The cannon is now kind of, it's on one wheel, it's kind of pointing up at the sky a little bit. It's clearly very damaged, and we will rejoin mid-combat. So it is actually Tide's turn first, and I know that you have been thinking about this for a while, Tide.
Right. Have I seen, obviously, Gideon screamed, Edry presumably didn't make a noise other than her body.
Oh, God!
I know that Edry is gone.
What? Roll perception for me. It won't class as anything. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, this is your action or anything, but just roll perception. No. There's like the rowboat is kind of in the way. Like, Gideon's kind of ducked behind it in the water, and you can't really tell where Airdrie was. Like, she was around that area, but as far as you're concerned, she might also be kind of using the rowboat for cover. So all you kind of know is that you would have seen the cannon obviously fire in that direction, and then you would have heard Gideon make a scream that you've never heard Gideon do before, and fire her chaos bolt. So you know that something bad has probably happened over there, but you can't see anything.
Okay. In which this kills me. In which case, I'm not going to run to Airdrie.
Okay.
I'm just don't know if this is a waste of a spell slot. Question, Lynn.
Okay, yes.
Can the cannon see?
Can the cannon see? You wouldn't know if the cannon can see. You would know that the cannon has been firing in the direction of people, so you would guess that somehow it is able to tell where people are, but you wouldn't know if it can see. It's not got like big eyeballs on it or anything.
Oh, I wish. Okay, in which case, I think...
Are you going to... Because I'm feeling kind at the start of the session, because, you're still reeling from the death of a player, are you going to attempt to blind it? Was that a plan?
I was wondering whether I wanted to blind it or whether I wanted to put an illusion around it. I think was my plan.
Okay, so I will... Because it is a cannon, it is it is immune to being blinded.
Great. In which I will simply... I'll cast aid. Do I need to be able to see Gideon to cast aid? No, great. Can I cast aid on Endo, Duramir, and Gideon?
Yes. Yep.
Which increases everyone's health by 5, and also it's not temp HP, but it's like 5 proper HP. So if you were like on 10 out of 20 HP, you would go up to 15 out of 25. I'll chuck it in chat so you can see it. And then
I was sorry, Roz. I was just changing my headset over. Does that include me, or am I too far away?
Are you too far away?
It's okay if I am. I just wanted to know if it included me because I unplugged my headset at that time.
Yes, you are.
Is Gideon too far away?
Oh no. No.
No.
Hey.
Gideon's like, phew.
Thank God.
I'll make it me, Duramir, and Gideon then. We'll get 5 full HP. And then I'll just shout at Endo, sorry, I couldn't reach you, but you're great, and give you bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And I don't think I'm even going to move. I think I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah, I don't know anything's happening over there. I'm done.
No, you do not. That is the issue here. Nobody except poor Gideon, who's absolutely traumatized, knows. Duramir.
Having seen, let me just adjust my health to reflect the additional. There we go. Yeah, having recently just got tied battle wake and see the cannon fire in that direction, and knowing that Endo's taking a fair whack at the same time, I shall pick up my potion that I threw the tide but was dropped.
Yep.
And I'm going to dash on over to Endo. So that's going to be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 7 would take me to there. How close would that be to Endo, roughly speaking?
If it takes you to there.
Yeah.
So these squares are 5 feet, so you would be.
They are 5 feet. So it will be a bonus action dash, and then I'll distract this guy who's sticking up on Endo. But before I do that, I'm going to hand him the potion.
Yep.
And then turn around and attack this guy with my swords.
Okie dokie.
There's an 18 hit.
It does.
So that's 6 damage.
Yep.
And then bonus short sword. A 9 hit.
No, that's a miss.
And I will then use a favored foe on the skeleton on him to get an extra 1 damage.
Okie dokie. Is that everything?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yep. Okie dokie. Endo.
Endo would be very grateful for the nice potion of Nameless. And he was in the middle of combat and fighting, so he's just going to attack the strange device that he has dubbed the boom thing.
The boom thing. Okay, yeah.
Because he doesn't know what it is. Don't think he's ever seen one before.
He may have, because he has been in quite large battles and things.
He has,
before.
but he's never been. I don't think he's ever been. He would have never been involved with
cannons.
Oh,
maybe. That's an I've
got inspiration. I've got. Can I use my inspiration?
Sure. Yeah. What is it? A D? What is it? A D?
Is it D20?
My inspiration, I think it's a D8 now.
D8. Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, you got different rules for inspiration now.
Yeah, I think he meant his bardic, rather than his actual inspiration. So that what is that? That's still a miss.
Yeah, but at least it's not a nat 1 and a fumble. That got me out of making the situation potentially worse. I would use my bonus action and use a key point for flurry of blows. So
this is where you get another nat 1.
You get 2 attacks for your action, so you get another attack before you do your flurry of blows.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I get 4 attacks. Yeah, there we go. This is where she's just giving me 3 more opportunities to get another nat 1.
Just like, please hit the cannon!
You have hit the cannon. You have hit the boom. What are you calling it? The boom.
The boom thing.
The boom thing. You've hit it. Yes.
Yes, the boom thing. Sounds like some kind of an 80s dance.
80s dance. Where on earth? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you go to hit with the first one, and you're not used to fighting a boom thing, so you kind of go to hit the wheel, just kind of skim off. But the second one, you kind of bring your fist round again and thrust with your palm right into the center of it, and it just explodes and shatters to the floor. As it does, though,
nice.
Literally the second that it hits the floor, 3 spectres come out from it, draw their weapons, and like open their mouths in like a roar. Sorry.
OC, that would horrify Endo.
Yep.
just why? Yeah, just why? Why? This big fat man stood here in a nappy with a aqel. What the fuck can he do?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's just you're not. There is no sorrow. Okay. Crap. Well, they're there to be used, so I might as well. Oh no, I don't know if I can do it. At third level, if you move 5 feet or less on your turn, you can anchor your heels into the ground to the next turn. You can move. But does that count as an action? And I've already done 2 actions.
Is it your implacable stance?
Yeah.
No, it's just a ability, isn't it? I don't think
Right.
it is just if you don't move, and you obviously have not moved, so.
Yeah, I can move. Basically, I can move 5 feet and nothing else.
Yeah, but you haven't even you were stood there the whole time, so.
Yeah,
you're fine.
yeah. Well, Endo's gonna move to here, and he's gonna just slap his little legs and stomp his feet on the ground and get into a position and do his sumo position to charge. And he's going to initiate implacable stance for 1 key point.
Okay.
And he is, with his 6 seconds of communication, going to turn and look. And he doesn't know anything about Audrey, but he's just going to go, Jeremiah, run! And then turn back. And that's it.
Okay, over to Gideon.
Okay, so question: if I would like to move to here, can I do it in such a way that this one will not get an opportunity attack? Can I go skirt round it to get to there?
Yes, you can. How tall are you?
I think in stark contrast to almost every other character I play in any game that we play together, I think that Gideon is normal sized, so 5'6", 5'7".
Okay. So the water. So obviously you were holding on to the side of the boat where you were, using that as some sort of cover kind of thing. If as you go kind of further out, the water is about 6 foot deep, so you would be kind of treading water to do that. So you can do that if you want, but you will be having to try and stay above the water, obviously, because you're not tall enough to stand up in it.
Okay. Would it be difficult terrain, half movement kind of thing, and use the rest of my movement to try and stay there?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Because you're having to swim.
I'm gonna go for it, because we're all probably gonna die. I might as well. So
that is not the. Come on, guys, have a positive attitude. Avenge Adri. So you can move there. That's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna steel myself, let go of the boat, and then I'm gonna swim, I guess, around the skeleton. I'm gonna move to there. I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to do quickened spell, and which turns it into a bonus action to cast a spell. So and I'm gonna cast Arms of Hadar. You see Gideon scream again, and all these dark tendrils come out of me and start battering everything that's around me. So this skeleton, this one, and this one need to make a strength save. The DC is 15.
Okie dokie. Let's have a look. I don't think they're gonna do on that, but we'll see. One got 11, 7, and 5. They all fail.
Hey. Okay, so they all take 6 necrotic damage, and they've got no reactions until their next turn.
Okay.
so that was my bonus action, and then as my action, I'm going to do Eldritch Blast. So I will do this one up here first.
Okay. Yep.
Oh.
That is a hit. It's a hit.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah. You are fully enraged now. Like, you've just witnessed something quite traumatic. You were already a weird person. So you've now seen this utterly traumatic thing, and you're just going crazy with your spells. These kind of like tendrils like come out and kill one of the skeletons outright, damage the other two, and then you turn an Eldritch Blast at this one and it just kills it outright.
Okay, and then I've got, with my second Eldritch Blast, I know it'll be at disadvantage because it's a ranged one, but I'm going to try and get the one next to me.
Yep.
So that's one roll, and then...
Oh,
they're both good.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Gideon is on fire right now. And that's enough to finish that one off as well.
Yes!
Gideon is just going crazy over there. Okay. But yeah. Just absolutely wiped them.
Yeah, and I think just for like flavour, the like dark tendrils were like in the spell. They're still just kind of like, you can still see the outline of them a little bit. And
yeah. Nice. Is that everything?
Yep, that's me.
Whew, okay, Gideon coming along with a trauma there and completely wiping the floor with my skelly bobs over there. Right, so what have I got here? So this guy here is going to fire at Tide. I'm sorry. 14 to hit.
14. Beats it.
5 piercing, please.
Okie dokie.
This one here that is kind of badly injured is going to try and like crack its bones up to be able to fire its short bow at Gideon, who has just absolutely wiped the floor with all of its pals over there. For a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That's 6 piercing, please.
Okay.
And this one here is going to attack Duramaya, who is the closest person to it, with its short sword, with an 8 to hit. So that's going to be a miss. Yep. Okie dokie. And then we are back round to Tide.
Right, so I still don't know as you said, but I definitely have seen 3 little ghoulies come out of the...
Yes, you would definitely have seen that. If you want to check again to see if you can see about Ergie, you can. Anybody that wants to, they can roll perception.
Gideon's being Gideon. I mean, you know, that's nothing out of the...
Yeah, you're probably just like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll go on my turn for perception.
Yep.
Do I need to run? No, great. I'm just going to look at one of the ghouls. I'll look at the ghoul in the middle, and I think I just hiss, "That's my job!" And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers and summon a load of ghouls in this ghoul's mind that are going to attack it.
Okie dokie. So you're going for this one, yeah? The one in the middle?
One, yeah.
Yep. Okie dokie. Let me just find my... This one. Okay, it's wisdom. He's not going to do this, I don't think. 10. So he is going to take that damage.
And immediately use its reaction to run as far away from me as it can.
Okie dokie. How far can it go? Oh, okay. Far away. It's going to go this way. So, oh my god, it's going so far away. It's going over there. Okay, it completely disappears behind a door here. It just goes straight through it, and you can no longer see it.
Great. And I'll just use my last bardic inspiration to draw a card.
Okay. The moon.
The moon.
And is that everything from you? No movement or anything?
I'll read this in the background.
Yeah. Okay. Jeremiah.
Yeah, I'm gonna now that I've like got a little pause in the fight against the thing I'm fighting, I will glance around and see what I can see.
Yep.
And a 23.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of, I assume you're looking over towards where Gideon and Airdrie were. That's in particular what you're looking at. Yeah. So you kind of like, obviously your attention is drawn by the fact that Gideon swims out into the middle of this like bay area where she is. Suddenly tendrils start flying all over, and then she's eldritch blasting left, right, and center while screaming. So you're kind of like, oh, that's, you know, that's new for her. As you're kind of like looking at that, you kind of like look past her, and you can see the body of Airdrie kind of where it has been like pushed back right against the wall, obviously, and kind of slumped down. You can see that there is blood everywhere. Where her head used to be, it is no longer there, and her dead body is laying on the floor.
Seeing that, everyone would just hear a string of elvish curse words that I will not repeat for flexibility.
Yeah.
Please swear in Elvish.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
I actually don't know any elvish to swear. Really, just the semantics are there, and I will renew my attack on the guy in front of me.
Yep.
A 10 to hit.
A 10 is a miss.
Okay, second swing with my bonus sword in my other hand. An 11 to hit.
That is a miss as well, unfortunately.
That's my pure frustration.
Yeah, I feel like you've been kind of
site.
Yeah, you've just seen that one of your friends that you've been traveling with for a hell of a long time, somewhat a leader kind of in the group, is splattered against a wall. So yeah, I can understand why when you're then swinging, you're maybe not as accurate as you would normally be.
Yeah, and I will then, I will end my turn with a stream of with a wordless howl, effectively.
Yep.
And my turn.
Okie dokie. So, this guy is going to kind of. These guys are not walking; they're kind of like hovering in the air, as it kind of hovers forward to come to here. This guy is going to move to here.
You're not helping Endo's sensitivities to strangeness.
I apologize. I can't help it. Right, so.
Bad enough with Gideon in the party.
So, one of them is going to attack. Oh. Have I got the right thing on here? Yes, I have. I've already done it. I'm on the ball here. Oh, Lord. Okay, so one of them kind of like hovers a little bit higher in the ground. They're only like 5 feet off the ground maybe, and kind of like looks down at Duromire, extends its hand as you can see all this kind of black like smoke reaching out to grab a hold of Duromire with a 24 to hit. I'm assuming that does hit.
Yeah, that does.
Can you take 21 necrotic damage, please? And also, can you make me a Constitution saving throw?
I can take the 21 necrotic and con save.
It was a nat 20. That's why it was so much damage. Just to, if that helps. I don't know that it is helpful.
Nothing helps.
Yeah. Okay. 17. You saved. That's absolutely fine. So yeah, you just kind of feel this. It's almost as if this creature has kind of reached inside of you and is draining you of your energy and your life. And the one that is stood here next to Endo is going to do the same thing to our boy Endo over here. Whoa, with a 24 to hit. Again, that was a nat 20.
I don't believe these dice.
So
From now
that-
on, I feel like you need to be rolling live on the camera feed.
So that is 20 necrotic damage, please. And can you make me a Constitution saving throw?
I'm just going to roll my 1d8 to reduce the damage.
Yep.
Which I probably won't do much. No!
Okay, so that's 19 necrotic damage.
I'm going to reduce the damage.
And a Constitution save, please.
And oh damn, I did my thing wrong. I was on 40, so it needs to be 21, doesn't it? And a Constitution save. Please bear with me, Lynn.
Yep.
Oh, come on, Chonk. The power of the Chonk. Come on. Can do this, Endo. They're not real.
Yep, that's fine. You save. So again, same thing to you with these kind of, both of them probably do it at the same time. Actually, they kind of come forward. One targets Jeremiah with these kind of smoke going into him and literally draining him of his life. And Endo, you feel the same thing. It's like they're literally kind of sucking the energy from you. And on that, it is your go.
Endo is not a fan of that.
No, I imagine not.
Okay. Well, since Jeremiah gave him the potion, was it a greater healing potion? Or
It was.
yeah, because we all had one and I used mine earlier. What is that? Is that
4d4 plus 4.
4d4 plus 4. There we go. So I'll probably just neck that straight away. So that's 9. It's better than nothing. So that's not change then. Stupid. There we go.
So
yeah. What do these things look like? I'm not trying to get a perception or any kind of thing like that. I'm simply saying that is there a handout for these hideous, horrible things?
I don't think there will be. No.
It's alright if there's not. I'm just curious. That's all. So you said they're floating for like 5 foot above the ground. So
They're literally
not
imagine
grapple-worthy.
like if the ring wraiths were. I guess all like Death Eater. Are they like Death Eater? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Death
Eater
Eaters from Harry Potter. That's what I was
So that's why I went with the Lord of the Rings reference. But if like the ring wraiths didn't have legs, if they were just floating in the air, they'd look like that.
Yeah. Okay. Do they have a head?
Yeah, they're kind of wearing like a hood, like a black hood. You can't see their face. Again, think like Nazgul. You can just see that the cloak, but they are made up of a humanoid form.
Oh, right. That's what I was going for. They are a tactile thing. It's not like they are a misty, like ghosty thing. There is an actual physical presence there, right?
Yes.
Like it's a cloak over possibly a skeleton, just for an example there.
Yeah.
Right. Very crude example. So if one was to remove a head, then potentially it could help somehow.
Yes, I guess so. You have used your action by having the potion, though.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've still got, I think, 1 or 2 key points left, so... I don't know where everybody else is. Alright. Pardon
me.
Where is it? I'm sure there's a bonus action I can grab something.
I don't think so.
Oh no,
ability.
that would be later on if I lived. Yeah, so I'm just going to attack the one nearest to Jeremiah with a bonus. Go on, sorry.
So how are you attacking it? As in you're doing your flurry of blows, or
Yeah.
because that's only if you've taken an attack action and you haven't
Oh
you tried the
yeah,
potion.
yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah. So you'd be looking at possibly if you've got. I mean, I don't know what key points you've got, but I
think
know
I've got
you could
one
do
or two.
like dodge. You could do dodge, or you could do step of the wind.
I'm not leaving Durham. That's just not an option. It never happened.
Because like your extra unarmed strike is only if you've made an attack action.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Yeah. So because
No, that's fine. I'm not struggling with that, Lynn. I'm reading the other things that I can do. Yeah, with the dodge situation though, does that using the key point, if I have to dodge, would that completely mitigate any kind of damage? Whereas obviously my implacable stance is a 1d8 reduction of damage.
It's disadvantage. Yeah, so basically
Right.
it doesn't mean that you automatically dodge it. It just means when I go for an attack, it's at disadvantage.
Right, okay. Yeah, no, I just oh crap. Where's it gone? Sorry guys. Just getting confused with where things are as usual. Yeah, I'd probably just use another key point and you just see like Endo like push his arms out to his sides and just push his chest out, almost like presenting himself as a bigger target, and he'd just stare at either of them as he initiates his implacable stance. Almost like, is that all you've got? And with his 6 seconds of communication, he would say again, Doramaya, run! And that would be it.
Okay. Gideon!
Okay, so I would like to swim back to go back to where I was hiding behind the boat, and I imagine as my tendrils fade, they're like swimming, like pushing me along the water.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'll go back to there and try and get a bit of cover behind the boat, and then I am going to spend another sorcery point and do twinned spell, and I'm going to throw 2 firebolts at the 2 spectres.
Yep.
So I'll do this one first, I guess. Where is it? Firebolt. Oh, not 20!
Nice.
Oh, thank Jesus! I was just going to say, please don't miss.
So max damage is 20.
It was this one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
So 31 damage in total. That's 5
31 damage. Okay. My God, Gideon, you are literally on fire. You are just.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So a firebolt just kind of flies from behind this rowboat and hits the one that was draining the life from poor Endo. As it just erupts, like its robes and things catch fire, it kind of flails around a bit and then just kind of flutters down as all the ashes kind of flutter down as it dies.
And then I will throw my second firebolt at the other one. Oh no.
Okay, that's a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. And then Does Oinkfat technically get a go after me? I would just like him to move down and just sadly be by Adri's body, really, not really do anything. I just feel like that's something that Oinkfat would do.
Yes, you can move him as a bonus action, basically. You can use Oinkfat as a bonus action. So it's like effectively it's like your spiritual weapon thing with Clack.
Yeah. Okay, I will just move. I think Oinkfat would move down to kind of sadly come and see if there's anything he can do about Adri.
Okay. Oh.
And then I'll try and duck down behind the boat a bit to get some cover, and that's me.
Yep. Okay. So my skeleton friend. So this one is going to carry on its attack against... That is not my skeleton. Against Jeremiah. With a 17 to hit.
Yep.
That is 8 piercing damage, please. This one's going to do its firing at Tide. 21 to hit.
Yep.
4 piercing damage.
Yep.
And this one, kind of seeing that Gideon has kind of gone back behind the rowboat, so it would be difficult to hit, is also going to go for Tide. 7 to hit. It's a 7. That's a miss. That's a miss. Okay. And that, I think that's all the ones that are alive after Gideon went absolutely mental over there. Tide.
Oh no! Is that other spectre still yeeted?
He has not reappeared yet.
Great. Let's try and yeet that remaining spectre.
Okay.
With my... Do I have a spell slot? I do have it. No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to run 30 feet. Oh, what is this? Corridor. That's not great. Okay. Great. I'm going to use my not cat, what's it called? Feline agility.
Yep.
Just to do that extra 5. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Durham.
Yep.
For 9.
Okay. Anything else?
Can I do anything with a bonus action? Nothing yet. Can I just hiss at this guy to my right?
Of course you can, yes. Go for it. Okay, Jeremiah.
I'll give a quick little nod of thanks to Tide, and then quickly refocus my swords at this guy because he's in the way and I want to leave.
Yep.
How dare he block me from leaving? A 21 to hit.
That definitely hits, yep.
For 8 damage.
That's enough to finish him off.
And then I'll spin around, see that this spectre's still hovering about, well, his legs will be about my sort of chest, I'd imagine.
Yep.
I'm around 5 foot tall, so yeah, he's about head height on me, and then I shall swing up with my other sword.
Yep.
See if that can do anything to stop him from being a pain. 60 to hit. 20 to hit. Sorry.
20 to hit. Yeah, I was like 60. Did you say 60? Yeah, I was like, my God. Yeah. 20 is a hit. Yes.
7 damage.
This is just it's just a normal short sword, isn't it? It's not magical. Yeah. Okay.
I have yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Normal.
So yeah, you kind of do make contact with him, but it doesn't seem to phase him really that much.
But then, having seen that, I will bonus action disengage and promptly turn tail and head. Let's see, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the way back up here.
Yep.
Going, nope.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and my turn now.
Okay. So this guy is going to do some movement. Oh my god. 25. To here. And then this guy here is going to do the same thing he did before. Well, not him, but he's going to do it to Endo this time. With a 13 to hit.
That does not hit Endo.
Okie dokie. That is it. Endo?
Well, one squishy person has left, and then another one has taken his place. So Endo is not allowed to move by his own logic.
I mean, he could move in front of Tide because he'd still be
Yep. I like that. I like that noise.
And you don't
Yep,
have to.
that's
You
happening.
could stay where you are.
No. He would. It's Endo. Yeah. He would definitely be in the way of danger. He would use his powerful chomp.
Because that's still, it's only 5 feet that you've moved, so.
And this thing does not seem to care for any normal kinds of attack. A little bit out of character for Endo. But he did just notice that there were 2 of these things, and then one of them just erupted into a great ball of fire.
Yep.
He had no idea why that happened. Could Endo like get out a torch and just shove it up his ass?
You're going to try and attack with the torch.
Well, no, not really. Endo wouldn't use a weapon. Endo is more interested in going, right, well, that one just set ablaze. Almost like holding out the torch to light curtains with it. You know, can he just hold the torch out and just hold it underneath the robes and see if it lights?
So, for future reference, you would be to... Because you can't just kind of hold it out. It would have to be classed as an attack.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so that would be a melee attack, and it only deals like 1 fire damage. So...
Oh.
Just for
So it's not
future
fireball
reference.
worthy.
It is definitely not, no.
No,
Very
it's a
shame.
He could attempt it. I mean, I feel like Ender probably would attempt it.
He would attempt something like that. Wait, that one got set on fire.
Yeah, aha! And then he's like, oh.
This is not working.
And then Gideon comes next and just like, here we go, I'll
Just
deal with it.
erases it from existence by just going, just looks at it. Yeah, I just used my last implacable stance. And so basically he would turn and face the creature and put his arms out and stamp his legs down and just be like, you shall not pass. And he's going to turn to Tide.
References here.
Yeah, he's going to turn to Tide and just go, Tide, run!
He's having such an issue. He's like, for God's sake.
And that's it.
Okay, so he's not even going to attempt an attack.
I can't because like I used my last key point to initiate implacable stance.
Yeah, but you have your normal attacks. You have your normal.
Oh yeah! Oh hell yes!
I was like, you can use your action.
Yeah. I mean, hell, if I'm
even though he's
gonna
seen
die,
obviously
then I'm
that
punch him in
the
the head.
attack from Doromai didn't have massive amounts of damage, but I feel like Endo will probably still.
Well, no. Actually, can I change that and make a request?
Okay.
DM's ruling. Can I try and rip this thing's head clean off?
You would not be able to do enough damage to be able to do that.
No, I'm not about damage. I'm just saying, can I just rip his head off?
No, that's what I'm saying. So that would be like a finishing blow. That would allow somebody to describe. It would be about, like obviously RP based, but Endo's not going to be able to do.
I was assuming that it was like some form of skeleton. I was just like, well, just rip his head off. It's still going to attack, but rip his head off.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just be. He'll just attack it.
Yep.
So
he gets his 2 attacks.
Tried to leg it.
That's a miss.
Yeah. So I'll reiterate. He's attacking it just after he's told Tide to run away.
that is a hit.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's stood there, he's put his arms out, he's told Tide to do that, then he's turned back around and he's just nutted it.
So he wouldn't be able to nut it. It's literally. Well, I mean, you could headbutt it, but you'd be headbutting it in You'd be headbutting it in like its knee because it is floating in the air, kind of.
It was me hoping you were going to say groin.
No, probably not. So you just like headbutt. You went first to headbutt and kind of missed because it's kind of floating around up there, and then kind of like looked again and like, and then headbutt again. You do make contact, but Endo's used to, hitting things. He's used to things breaking when he hits. It's almost, it doesn't really phase it as much as you would have anticipated. And then you're doing your implacable stance, yes?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Poor Endo.
Gideon.
I would like to
do it.
Fucking kill everything. I mean, I can see this one, but I also feel like really my attention would be on what is happening directly in front of me. So on that basis, I am going to Eldritch Blast these two. So I'll do this one, the one that looks like it's already been hit first.
Yeah, that's a hit.
These rolls, Han.
She's just absolutely, okay, you've absolutely destroyed that one. Bones flying everywhere.
And then I'll go for the one next.
Yep.
Oh, not as good. 12.
Oh, that is a miss, unfortunately.
Damn it. Okay. And then I don't think I've really. I think that might be. Actually, as a bonus action, I'm going to redo my form of dread because I'm not terrifying enough.
I mean, okay. I feel like you are quite terrifying currently, but sure, yes.
So you just see like, so my form of dread is already like hood up and like my face is all in shadow, and then you just see flashes of like skull basically, and you just hear like bones cracking and like Gideon's head goes at a bit of an unnatural angle, and I'll just do it again, really only because I want the temporary HP. Let me just roll that if I can find it. Another 5. But yeah, that is my go, and then I will I'm just gonna move a little bit, but still
you're still covered. Yep, that's fine. Yep. Okie dokie. So I literally only have one of my little skeleton boys left. He is going to fire at Duramiah, as Duramiah is kind of making his escape. That is a 12. That is a miss, I assume.
Yeah, that is.
Yep. Okie dokie. Back to Tide.
I really don't think Tide would run. Ironically, because wouldn't want one of his friends to die.
I'd pick you up and fucking yeet you.
I really don't want to use my last spell slot. What are these two? Are these two things bad? Are they looking at us?
They are the creatures that that Duramiah saw taking the things out from the ship and putting them in. They are literally, they seem very preoccupied. It's almost like whatever is going on around them, they are not paying attention to. They're still taking out the things from the ship and kind of like moving it like into this room just here that you can't see. So they keep like going through into here and then they'll come back again, but they're not paying attention to any of the battle at all.
Okay, cool. There's not moving anything we need to be worried about, though, like bombs or weapons, are they?
You can't really tell what they're moving. They're just moving like crates of things, and like it doesn't seem. It seems like the things that they're moving are also like spectral, if that makes sense. So they're not actually picking up anything physical. It's like it's like it's a recording, like a hologram or something that you're watching of somebody moving something.
Cool. In which case, I think I will just. Can I just? Oh, silly.
Do it.
Can I just get my slingshot out?
Yes.
Yes.
Fire one of the buttons from the snowman way back when in happier times.
The frosty things.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. What are you firing it at?
I'm firing it at. I can't really go above. I can't really fire past Endo, can I? I'll fire at the one remaining.
Skelly Bob.
Fake lurcher. Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's a hit.
Oh my god, I love this.
Nice. That is nice actually. Yeah, you like kind of pull out your sling, your snowball sling, and fire it off, and you can see as it impacts it kind of cracks open all its ribs, and then like cold starts spreading through what would have been its chest, kind of going over to its shoulders.
Wow, maybe I'm a war guy. New feelings. I can't. No, I will. I'll turn back to Dora and I'll shout, "You heard Endo, run!" And I'll cast Healing Word from the word run.
Okay.
Use my left because I can't. That's 6. And I will go back a little bit, just to get out of the way of that spectre.
Yep.
Who was that one? Healing word?
That was 6, Dom.
Oh, for me.
For yourself.
Oh, just, yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, just get out of the way of that scary looking corridor. I'm done.
Scary looking corridor. Okay, Dormaya.
Seeing that Gideon has turned into some sort of artillery battery at the moment, I will shove my sword back in the sheaths as I'm running, and I shall snap a shot off at this guy.
Yep.
Literally as I'm running, so possibly if I hit with this, I'll be surprised. 11.
It's a miss, unfortunately.
That's fine, entirely expected. Let me just 1, 2, 3. That's just missing square, isn't it? That one. There's no
Yep.
There's no pier there.
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna just run along here, jump over that gap, and straight into the boat.
Okay, Dickie, just roll me an acrobatics check.
Oh no.
British.
I'm an elf. What do you expect?
I expect you to pass this with flying colours. That's what I expect. Or you could not. So I mean,
will just... Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of like, obviously you're trying to like do 3 things at once here. You're trying to retreat. You're trying to fire at the skeleton. You're still probably quite emotional about having seen, your friend splattered against a wall. So you kind of like go to jump, but the decking is quite wet and your foot just slips and you fall into the gap and end up in the water.
Yeah, I will just bonus action, pull myself out onto that bit
Yep.
beside me there, and just sit there and just try and just pant and just try and catch my breath, be like, what the?
Could you see so many like rulers? Just like, right, well, how far's that? How far's this? And what's going on? Okay. So back to my little spectre boy. He is pretty much a one-trick pony. He is going to attempt to do the same thing again. A 12 to hit Endo.
That's a no.
That is a no. Okay, this guy is going to...
Endo is all powerful.
This guy is going to... Okay, this guy is going to go over here. Boop.
No.
Sorry. And I'll try and do
What
the
the
same
fuck?
thing. 13 to hit.
Misses.
Okay.
Yay!
Endo.
Yeah, Endo's just he like try to swat a fly. He's just gonna be irritated to
Yeah.
like hell. He's just gonna be swinging his arms all over the place, try to grab a leg, pull him down. If he had the ability, he'd be trying to grab his legs and just like smash him into things by his ankles. That's what he'd love to be able to do. But obviously that's not happening, so he's just constantly
No.
just hitting him and what have you. So yeah, unarmed strike.
That's a hit.
Can't wait till Endo gets those magic gloves.
Yep.
If he lives that long.
Yeah. That's definitely a hit.
The fingerless gloves of doom. Yeah, so literally Endo's just trying to he's seen these possible
Nice.
skeleton legs and he's trying to rip off the leg, he's trying to rip off a foot, hell he's trying to rip off a toe, he's trying to just slap everything, smash everything and ideally grab them and just like yeet the son of a bitch somewhere.
So as he's kind of like trying to grasp at them, it's as if like as he's trying to grab them, he's just like his hand is moving through them. It's not able to kind of grab hold of them and like pull them or anything like that. As you're kind of like swatting away though at like what you can see in front of you, you are kind of making like impact. It doesn't feel like solid, like you're hitting something necessarily like firm, but you are aware of the fact that you're like punching through its body and things like that. And it does seem to be wearing it down slowly but surely. It doesn't have quite the same impact as, you know, a fireball setting it on fire. But slowly but surely you can see that this creature is kind of struggling to like reform itself. It's struggling to stay as high up in the air as it was before. So you can see that you are having some impact on it.
You have seen me in my kitchen with an electric fly swatter and a fly.
Yes.
That is literally what I am doing. It's like, I will kill you! I will kill you! Until that big ginormous blue bottle made me run away because I hit it with an electric racket and it just looked at me like, bro, what are you doing?
Okay. Anything else?
That's no, that's it. That's all Endo's got. I don't think I've got anything I can do without key points. No. No, done that. No, that's that. Nope, that's everything.
Okay. Gideon.
Seeing the spectre come right up to me, I just go no and reach out and touch it, and I'm going to do shocking grasp. I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask anyway. It's not what I mean. It's a spectre. It's not actually corporeal or wearing anything made of metal, is it?
No, it is not.
No. Okay, that's fine. 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
What's Gideon one-shot it?
So that is 8 lightning damage.
Yep.
And it can't take reactions until the end of its next turn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to run away because it won't get an opportunity attack now.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, where shall I? I feel like I should not be running into danger, and yet.
And
Yeah.
yes, I am.
So I'm gonna go to there and then.
Can you make me an acrobatics check, please?
Crikey.
There's a gap in the thing.
There's a gap right there.
Yep.
That's fine.
You're stressed out, okay? You've been through a lot. The deck is slippy. There's bones everywhere. You kind of trip over one of the bones and end up in the water, kind of as you stumble past Duramaya.
Hey, as I fall, I just go, "Why have you betrayed me?" to the bones. And that's my go.
Okay. So the skeleton is going to keep its focus on shooting Duramaya. With an 8, that is a definite miss. It is then going to start moving up to here. And Tide.
Well, I mean, I'm a war guy now. Can I try and snowball sling the guy that's hitting Gideon again?
Yes. That's a hit.
Great, I'm gonna hit it in the head. Oi!
Come on. Oh my god, yes! Okay, yeah. Oh my god. You hit it square in the head. It's like you've been practicing with the snowball or something. You're like, boom, hit it in the head as it kind of goes through the back of the head and kind of look as Gideon's looking at it, she would see just the front of its skull start to kind of freeze up as it just drops into the water.
Amazing. I do feel like I can't leave Endo. And I have no bardic inspiration left, but I'm just going to...
You can leave Endo because he said leave.
It's what time?
Time isn't the best of times.
Yeah.
I'll just shout, "Come on, Endo!" And I've got no bardic inspiration left, but...
Just words of encouragement.
Just words of encouragement.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
I'm done.
Okie dokie. Jeremiah.
Right, having seen that everyone's thinned out the what was a horde quite nicely, and that there's one remaining over here, I am going to draw the old trusty longbow and shoot at it.
Okie dokie.
A 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
I should have bonus actually aimed, but there we go. For 6 damage, and as I do so, I'll mark it as a favoured foe for an extra d4, which is an extra 3
Nice.
damage.
Yeah, it's looking particularly ropey now. As again, that's kind of struggling to stay up in the air. Anything else?
And yeah, I will just I'll leave it at that for the time being, thank you. Yeah.
Okie dokie. So this one is going to move to here and do its life drain on Duramaya with a 24 to hit. So that,
Why do we always get so high?
I know, that is 23 necrotic damage. And can you do me a constitution save as well, please?
And with that,
Okay, so
if Gideon was paying attention, she would just see Jeremiah fall apparently and faint.
okay, and also your hit point maximum is now reduced by 23 points until your next long rest.
So
down from 40 odd to...
That's my old maximum, isn't it? Before I had the override of the extra 5 from A. So
you need to reduce it by 23 points.
by 23.
23,
Okay.
yeah, because it's the damage that you took. And then my other guy is going to attack Endo with a 11 to hit.
No, he's not.
Okie dokie. Endo, over to you.
Endo is going to see that this creature tried to swat him, and it's just going to infuriate him further. And he's just going to keep, like you said, he's swinging, and he's just like he's feeling something, but he doesn't know that he's making that much contact, and this thing just will not go away. It's almost like Gimli and you know the ghosts rising up. And he's just like,
he's trying to blow the hand away, like.
If this wasn't combat, then Endo would be trying to do that just to get it to go away.
Yep.
But since it is, yeah, he's just flailing at him, and he's like, "But why won't you die?"
Yep. That's a miss, unfortunately. Next one. That's also a miss.
Oh,
so as this creature is kind of like, it's kind of like quite wispy now, so you're trying to like find a solid part of it to like, well, solid-ish part of it to make some form of contact with, and you're just kind of flailing your arms around. You do look like you're swatting some flies or something like that. Clearly like struggling to make any contact with this creature now. Is that everything?
Yeah, that's everything. He would assume that Tide has run away by now. He's engaged and immersed in combat. So
okay, okay. Gideon.
I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm just gonna spin round to the one who's behind me and shove my hand forward and do shocking grasp.
Yep. That's a hit. Yeah.
Okay, that's 6 lightning damage.
Yeah, so you kind of like reach your hand. You can't really properly like grab these creatures, but you kind of reach into where the essence of it is, and kind of like the lightning kind of spreads across it as it kind of like just evaporates into nothingness, and there's just little sparks of lightning still in the air.
Okay, and then I'm gonna start moving down.
Yeah.
This way, and as I go, I'm gonna yell, "Tide, Durmir's down, do something, Tide, do something!" And that's my go.
So, but I don't have any skeletons. So, Tide.
Yeah, only that I know Durmir's down, and I don't know that Ed was down is delightfully awful. I can't get to Durmir. I also can't swim and don't wish to swim.
Definitely you don't. Definitely you don't.
Oh God.
To here, which is as far as I can get, and I can't do anything else. I don't think.
Okay.
What's the range on my sling? 30. No.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, Durmai, can you whisper to me your save, please?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that I have that.
Yeah.
Changed.
So while you're doing that, we'll just move on, because obviously that'll come through to me. And my Spectre's going to do same old, a little bit boring, but an 11 to hit on Endo.
No.
Okie dokie. And back to Endo again.
Yeah,
Swat
Endo.
it, Endo, swat it.
Endo is going to do something. Very, very boring. He's going to do the same thing too.
Okay. He's firmly just like, get away.
Yeah, he's literally just swiping all over the place. Like, if it ain't broke,
That's a hit.
fix it. I feel like Endo is literally a one-trick pony, always.
Oh, wow, that is nice damage. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you kind of like...
Oh, tell me I've grabbed a leg.
You can't grab it. You kind of like throw your like big palm straight through now, because you're like, right, I've been tried thrusting at it, it's not working. I'm just going to waft across, like I'm slapping it like really hard. And as you do, it's like the final wisps of it just kind of dissipate. as it disappears and peace
Are you
falls
saying that?
upon the cove briefly.
Are you saying that Endo bitch slapped a spectre into the netherworld?
Yes.
I always wanted to put something like that on a resume.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can I try and medicine check Dorme before he death saves to death?
Yes.
If we're out of initiative.
I think Gideon has just like slid down the wall to like sit, like kind of sit down
like
on
she's
the
in
door.
Vietnam.
And it's just like literally staring at nothing. Just
1,000 yards stare.
yeah, like just kind of rocking backwards and forwards a little bit.
Yep. So you've managed to stabilize him, tied with your medicine check, and probably from where you are now, if you glanced up, you would be able to see the remains of Airdrie tied.
Gideon, I feel like you'd be sat there with a cigarette, like pulling off a helmet that says "Born to Kill." You know what I'm saying?
Very that.
Covered in blood.
I'm just going to run to Airdrie's body and just curl up and sob, I think I'll probably try and, it sounds really macabre and awful, but try and just not reattach, but just make Airdrie look a little bit less headless.
Like a jigsaw.
Yeah, there's... You kind of like, as you get closer, because like you kind of just saw like her legs and like part of her like torso, you kind of get closer and you see that like her head is just, it's not there, it's in pieces. There's no way that you can even attempt to make it look like Airdrie if it wasn't for the fact that she was wearing Airdrie's armor and had daggers kind of like in there.
Everywhere.
You wouldn't even know it was Airdrie.
I will, not in a funny way, just in a very sad, need a moment way, I'm going to minor illusion Airdrie to look more like Airdrie and just, curl up next to her and just stand guard whilst we pray there's no one else. Oh no, actually, can I also, sorry, I've just seen, as before I left Durmir, can I have shoved a potion of healing that I've got?
Yeah, so you're gonna like force it into his mouth, kind of thing. Yeah. So what is it? Is it greater?
It's the one that Durmir gave me, ironically. 4d4 plus 4 greater healing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, greater.
Yeah. So you can just roll that for him and give him some HP back, because he's currently still laid on the floor like. Yeah. So you kind of like check him, manage to stabilize him with your kind of knowledge of medicine, and then kind of remember that you've got this potion, get it out, open his mouth, kind of like pour it down his throat, and then as you look up from doing that, you can see the body of Airdrie, and that kind of obviously draws your attention as Duramir kind of goes, takes a breath and starts like, because obviously, you know, you've just poured liquid down his throat, he's not been able to swallow it properly. You kind of run over to Airdrie and curl up near her as Duramir, you are back alive.
And does just... Oh, go on, do it. Sorry.
Just going to scan round, see that nobody's fighting, and be like, is that it?
I feel like Ty's just crying by Airdrie. Gideon's just sat on the floor against the wall, just going, I don't know. Endo's oblivious.
Oblivious to everything is normal. I mean, he's literally just gonna walk up to Gideon and, like, you know, crunch over this skeletal remain. He gives no shits, you know, like with his little sandal feet. He's just like crunch. Like, Gideon, we won.
I think you would probably see that Gideon's hands are shaking, and her, like, she's come out of her form of dread, so she just looks like herself again, and looks like a scared little kid, basically.
Well, Endo would put his hand on her shoulder as she sat down there, and if she looked up, she would just see a very dopey, little smiling chonky man that's just like, it's okay, we did it.
Edry. Edry didn't make it.
Didn't make what?
She. I just don't say anything else. That's it. I'm just staring.
I'm sure Audrey is fine. We won. They all died. Everything's like not moving now. So we can all just have a break.
Hearing that, I will slip into the water and swim across and just rest against Jesse and go, Endo, Gideon is, well, she's right. We have one fewer on our team.
I don't understand what you mean, Jeremiah. What's happened?
Adri, I'm not sure how. But
did she leave?
No. Both boats are here. But she's not walking.
Did she hurt her legs?
She's got both her legs. She's got both her arms. But she's not walking.
So, like, confused, but obviously nervous and worried about Audrey. He would, like, just obviously carefully get past Gideon and then just start hurriedly shuffling his self, like, to the back area. He would see Oink Fat and he'd be like, oh, there's Oink Fat and everything's fine. And he'd get past Oink Fat and he'd see Tide first and he'd be like, Tide, what's happening? Audrey's hurt her legs? Like, what's happening?
Just see this big, sad cat eyes look up at you from me curled kind of between her arm and her body. And, like, just shake my head. She's gone.
She's not gone, she's there. What do you mean she's gone?
She's gone.
No, she's there.
And I don't say it, I just gesture for you to come and sit next to us.
Yeah, he sits next to Audrey and he's just he's like he's like a little kid. So he's got hold of the hand. And he's like he's trying to move his hand in her hand and it's not working. And he's saying her name. He's just sat on the floor next to her. She's just like, Audrey! Audrey!
I feel like this is a genuine moment of silence.
I know. I'm just like, I don't want to say anything. I was like, I'm okay. We're just gonna sit here. This is cool. I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
I think, Gideon, we should leave and take Adri with us.
I think Gideon is still just staring, but very, very quietly, you would hear her say, "I want to go home."
At that, I will get onto the pier beside you and then just help you up and just literally just start going towards this boat and be like, we're going home. This place can keep its secrets.
Halaskar is going to kill us. We haven't done the mission, and Adri's the only one she likes.
At this moment in time, Gideon, I didn't give 2 cares about Talisker. As long as we, as a team, are together, that's what matters. We get somewhere, we rest up, and then next day we can worry about Talisker. Because at the end of the day, as long as us 4 get to safety, we can give Adri the respect she deserves, and well, if it wasn't for you, Gideon, I'm sure today would have turned out a lot different than it has.
When you say that, it's the first thing that makes me look at something, and I just look at you and nod a bit and then say, I tried, I wanted to do Adri proud.
You've done Adri more than proud. If it wasn't for you, we'd still be fighting, and I gesture to what remains of these skeletons and the little pile of ash over here from the firebolt. And I'm like, if it wasn't for you, at least 2 of those spectre things would have gotten me earlier.
I didn't want to let anybody else get hurt. Should we go and see if the others are okay?
Yeah. Just don't. We need to just step carefully.
Yeah, so Endo's. I'm assuming that Tide did the minor illusion, and I'd like to hope that it lasted as long as Endo got there, but obviously whether it did or it didn't, at this point Endo's seen the injuries, and he's still just sat there with his little legs sticking out, just like shaking Audrey's hand, but he's not saying anything anymore, he's just crying.
Endo, Tide.
Back home.
Just
not Nameless, but home. When we lost the warrior, we send them off into the sea in a boat. and I don't know what Edric believed in, but
I suggest we get out this cave, we take Adri, and we find land, we give her the respect she deserves, and then rest up, and then see Talisker. I don't care that this mission may be a failure in her eyes. End of the day, we're alive, and thanks to everyone, we make it out of here because, Clyde, you helped to reduce this battle from a horde to more of a one-on-one type fight. Endo, you madman, you tried to stop that cannon over there, and I gesture to the broken pile of wheels and things. So we all did our bit. We all helped out, and that end of the day, as long as we're together, that's all that matters.
I just nod.
Endo's not really talking. He's still just sat there crying. Quietly.
Will you two let me carry Adri to a boat, and then one of you come with me and we row both boats back to land?
Endo would just quietly stand up, like while he's crying, and he would just lift Audrey's body over his shoulder, carefully.
I think that's the nearest one, Endo.
Endo just nods, and then makes his way over there with his friend. He gently puts Audrey in the boat, and knows that he can't go in that boat, so that makes him a little bit more upset.
Endo, you can come in the boat. I'll row.
Endo too big. Endo will
No.
go in the other boat.
Endo, you're not too big. I brought you here. I can bring you back home.
Okay.
You just stay still in the boat while we have Adri in here, and all will be well.
Do you think Talisker will be very angry with us?
I don't care. She knew this was dangerous. She was a fucking brief.
At the end of the day, Gideon, Talisker knows the risk.
Yeah, I haven't really got anywhere else to go. If she, kicked us out or whatever.
You're not going anywhere. Neither is all.
What?
I think we're making the DM cry.
No, I just heard I don't know what it sounded. It sounded like somebody was in a wind tunnel. It was like in my ears. I was like, what the hell was that?
Oh, it might have been the fan behind me. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, I don't know what that is, but that was deafening. Because everybody's talking very quietly as well.
Really sorry.
And then all of a sudden it was like... it did it again.
Oh, that's not me. That's not me. That's something else. It sounded like someone's wiping their nose on the microphone.
Okay, I realise that we're probably all crying a little bit, but maybe just move the mic away from your mouth while you're crying.
Oh wait, is Hugh here?
Yes.
Oh wow, how long have you been here?
Hugh's here?
Hi.
Oh my god,
Hi.
how long have you been here?
I've been here for about an hour.
Well, I didn't even notice. Oh my god, so you've heard all this.
Wait,
Hold
an
on.
hour? I thought I heard someone like on my phone. It made a beeping noise as if I got a message, but I checked and I didn't see anybody else in the party, so I didn't check properly.
Yeah, I've just been quietly listening. Continue. Pretend I'm not here.
Okay, yeah, well, pretending he's not here. It's just listening to the very emotional RP.
And yeah, I will untie the boat and just start to push it away from the jetty and row out to land.
Okay, so it took you a little while to get here, obviously, on a much larger boat that was not manned by one person rowing. So it would take you a long time to get to land. So you kind of know that. So as you kind of push out of the cove itself, you're kind of like scanning the horizon, and you can see that there is a ship kind of making its way towards the cove. You would recognize it as the ship that Molly was captain. I say captain. She's literally the only person on the ship.
Oh God, the lunatic.
And she was obviously told to come and get you. So she is on the way. Gideon
God.
Tide, I assume that you are jumping in the other one.
I tried to point out this.
My modifier is 0, and I 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like...
That's why Endo was trying to get into his own boat, because he was going to go with Oink Fat and he was going to row on his own while the others row together.
I feel like between the two of you, like one on one or one on the other, you're very light anyway, you guys, other than Oink Fat, I guess, which might weigh you down a little bit. So you are
Strap him to the
able
back
to,
of the
you
boat
are
and
moving.
flick him until he kicks his feet.
Yeah, you are
Speedboat.
much slower than the other boat. Like they're kind of like Jeremiah is easily kind of pulling the boat through the water, whereas you guys are a little bit slower, but you are kind of like slowly making your way out of the cove. What are Gideon and Tide's passive perception?
Mine's 13.
Mine's 14.
Okay, so as you kind of go past this like doorway here, you can hear some sort of movement behind it. It's almost as if you can like hear locks being pulled back on the door, but you manage to kind of like just get out. Oh my god, I'm leaving. The boat's left you. You're out of the boat. No, you're not. No, you're not. Goodbye, friends. You kind of just managed to get out of there as anybody who looks back in would see a skeleton kind of open the door and make his way out. He is going to take a random shot at the boat just as it flies away.
Can I try an Eldritch Blast as we're disappearing?
I was just typing.
So 24 to hit on Gideon as it's going away.
Yeah, that hits.
That is only 8 piercing. It's not like crazy damage. And then yes,
Okay.
you can do your Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so I'm gonna chuck both of them at him. So the first one's 16 to hit.
Yep.
5.
Yep.
And then the second one's a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
That's 8.
That was, oh my god, that was exactly what you needed to kill him. Exactly what you needed to kill him. Yeah.
Beast
So
mode.
he kind of like fires off this shot and it does kind of hit you in the shoulder, and you've had enough. You have had enough of all of this, and you kind of just fire off these 2 Eldritch Blasts. One like throw it at him, it impacts him, he like staggers backwards a little. Before he's even got a chance to start recovering, the next one hits him and he just explodes into another pile of bones. As you manage to kind of you managed to kind of catch up there. As the ship of Molly, it kind of pulls up, kind of starts slowing down a little bit as she obviously sees you guys kind of rowing towards. She lowers the anchor, kind of kicks her legs up to lean over the edge, and she's like, "Hello, how are we doing? Everybody oh." She kind of like looks into the boat and sees Endo with Edri's body.
Still holding the hand.
We need to get back. Can you throw us the ladder to help us get up the boat?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course I can. Yeah. Oh. And she's kind of like not really taking her eyes off the body of Edri. She kind of throws the ladder over and then steps back to let people get up onto the boat.
I'll just say, Endo, you first.
Yeah, Endo will, I'm assuming that Audrey had some form of, I think it was like a half cloak or something. He'd just gently wrap that round her and he'd put her on his shoulder and up he would go.
I don't think she had a cloak actually. I think she was wearing quite tight armor really, showing off that physique.
Well, he would just respectfully cross her arms across her and gently put her over his shoulder, and with one arm he would pull himself up.
Can you make me an athletics check, please?
I most certainly will.
Thank God, I really didn't want you to fail that. I was like, please don't fail it. I don't want you dropping the body of Erdry. That would just be horrific.
Endo would never. I have actually got an inspiration point, so I would have used that. There's no way I'm dropping it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you managed to, Endo is obviously quite strong and manages to kind of scale the ladder quite easily. Lands on the deck where kind of Molly has stepped right back to allow enough space for everybody to get on board. Anybody else that wants to climb up the ladder, obviously you're not impeded by anything. You would be easily able to climb up.
Endo just turns straight to her and says,
Gideon, how are you getting Oink up there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
No, I can't. He'll be too heavy to mage hand him up, won't he?
Yes, he would. So you would have to roll athletics if you're going to be carrying him up there. But everybody else who is not carrying a body of a friend. Oh my lord.
Oh god. Oh my god. Oh god. It's a good job he's immortal.
Yeah, Tide, you would be helping, right? Right?
Yeah, I'm definitely giving you the help action.
Yeah.
Two hands
on
cheek.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so you kind of took Oink Fat under your arm, as you have done quite often before. You've kind of done that, when you've been in the Nameless thing. But you've just been rowing for a little while to get out of the cove, and you have noodle arms. So it's, your arms are already feeling exhausted from this. You kind of lean down to pick Oink Fat up, who kind of looks up at you sadly, obviously still upset about Erdry. You kind of give him a scratch on the head, and then you're like, as you look at the ladder, you kind of pull yourself up one rung, two rungs, and then it's just all strength in your body. You're just exhausted emotionally, physically. You kind of, Oink Fat wriggles a little bit, and you're like, oh, you drop him, and then you fall into the water as well. As Oink Fat's frantically trying to swim next to you to stay above the water.
Can I throw a rope down to Gideon and just, try and get her to either tie herself and Oink Fat or one of them onto the rope, and then I'll hold that person up and then the other person.
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, well, I would clearly tie the rope to Oinkfart first.
Okay. Yeah. So just do me a strength, Jeremiah, if it's just you pulling on the rope. So 21. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you easily, once it's kind of tied around Oinkfat's, like, I guess his waist, his chest. I don't even know what you would tie it around.
Like a dog harness. Like I've made like
Yeah.
a little
Okay.
harness around his chest and under his legs.
Okay. Yeah. So
Love it.
Jeremiah, you're kind of like, you just want to get the hell out of here. You've been through a lot. You're kind of like, even though you've rode the whole way here with Endo and the body of Airdrie in there, you're just like, nah, I'm done with this. And just start like pulling, showing strength that like nobody really would have expected you to have, as you kind of just like pull really fast, get Oinkfat on the ship, throw the rope back over for Gideon. I'm assuming Gideon would get like attached to the rope.
Yeah, I would then, just about with the last of my strength, grab onto it.
Yeah, and then you kind of
follow
you just pull. I'm not going to make you roll again with that because you got a nat 20 anyway. So you kind of like, as soon as you feel that she's got a hold of it, you start pulling it up again. And Gideon, you find yourself aboard the ship, wet through, but aboard the ship in almost like lightning speed. Jeremiah does it so fast. Also, you are whispering still to me, Jeremiah.
I've changed that now.
Okay.
But that one word I forgot. I got a whisper on.
Yeah, it's okay.
Endo turns to the captain and just says, "Excuse me. Do you have some blankets, please?"
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'll go get them. And she kind of like scurries off. She's like, if someone can just raise the anchor and then we can get on our way. I don't want to linger here too long.
Yeah, Endo will do that.
Can I go? Wait, Endo, wait! There was another skeleton back there. There's other things back there.
I look at Gideon.
Endo's just not even responding.
We lost one person today, and honestly, this cove can keep its secrets.
Yeah, if Jeremiah and Tide aren't stopping Endo's just gonna quietly walk over to the anchor and raise it. It's not out of rudeness; it's just out of shock.
So don't you want to make sure that they can't do what they did to Airdrie to anybody else?
Ooh.
At that, I turn around and go, well, between us, that machine that caused this, as far as I'm aware, lies in splinters on the ground. Is that not enough?
Not if there's anything left alive back there.
Endo turns round with tears streaming down his little face quietly. And he just said, "Gideon, I've already failed one person. I don't want to fail any more of my friends."
Adri's safe now. She'll be safe. We can get her home. And you can see that Gideon's getting angry now. Like, all the stages of grief. And just getting more, like, looks more determined, and it's like, maybe we can rest here, go back tomorrow, make sure there is nothing left in that cove.
Endo doesn't respond, and he stops talking, and he just walks off towards where the captain is to get a blanket to cover up Audrey, and he has no interest in making these decisions.
So the captain kind of wandered away into what effectively, there's only like one room on this ship. It's not a massive ship like the one that you came in. She kind
Endo
of,
respectfully didn't go through the door.
yeah, so she kind of like comes out from her quarters. She's kind of holding like a couple of blankets, passes one to Endo, and then kind of like scurries past him and kind of goes over to Gideon and like throws it around her, because obviously she's absolutely wet through because she was in the water. She's like, there you go, dear. That should warm you up a little.
Endo just bows his head and he's like, thank you. And then he goes back to Audrey and he just kneels down and he like almost ceremonially like wraps her up in the blanket. And then he's praying and he just stays there.
In Elvish, I'll just turn to Gideon and go, if you want to kill all of us, then we can return to the cove, but, and I say this not lightly, we need to put Adri to proper rest before we do anything else.
I like turn to look at you and just like I feel like just for a second it's almost like I'm gonna go into my form of dread, but I don't at the last second. But there's just a little flicker of like shadow across my face, and I just say, if we go carefully and we go quickly and we finish them off, nobody else will die today.
Can you guarantee that?
We can get out if it's going to go wrong again. But
You say that, but that last spectre has taken a lot of my vitality from me. I am in no state to re-enter that cove. A stiff breeze could kill me.
doesn't feel it doesn't feel right leaving. Even after what's happened, it doesn't feel right.
I agree it doesn't feel right, but it's what we need to do.
Captain kind of looks from like, it's kind of stood there super awkwardly, like this short little like halfling, kind of like looking from one to the other, kind of like looks at Endo, who is obviously sat praying over Edri's body, looks at Doramiah, who is looking just very, despite his kind of feat of strength of pulling Oinkfat and Gideon onto the ship, he clearly just is worn out. It's like you can see it in his face. It's almost like his face is quite drawn, as if somebody has literally sucked some of the life force out of him. Kind of looks to Tide, who is also looking quite ropey. Kind of like looks at Gideon, shakes her head, just like, I don't know what you've been through in there, and, well, to be honest, it looks like you've been in the depths of Avernus. But I don't think you're ready to go back in. Just look at your friends. Look around. And she kind of like gestures at them. They don't look well.
I managed to keep the like angry look on my face for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then my whole face just crumples and I start crying.
As soon as you start crying, Molly kind of like rushes forward, like tries to like comfort you. Obviously she's quite a little bit smaller than you, but she's like, there, oh, there, child, come on, come with me. And she starts leading you into the captain's quarters.
I literally just go with anybody who tries to take me anywhere right now. Gideon is just not with it at all. It's just totally gone.
So she kind of takes you into the captain's quarters, sits you down on like a. It's not, again, nothing on her ship is particularly fancy. It is just a basic kind of bed that she's got in there, like a wooden bed. And she kind of sits you down. She like pulls the blanket around you. Like now that you're sat down, she's able to kind of be like face to face with you, because the height difference is obviously changed now. She's like, "It's all right, child. It's all right. It's just, oh dear, you've been through hell, haven't you? Oh, you poor things. I tell you what, Molly will get you home. You just rest here. Lie down, lie down." And she's kind of like gesturing for you to lie down on the bed.
Yeah, Gideon just curls up straight away, like fetal position, gone.
Yeah, she kind of like pulls the blanket right tightly around you so that you kind of as snug as you possibly can be, as she kind of goes back out and immediately starts pulling to get the sails down, getting ready to go. She's like, "Right, let's not linger here. Seems like you all need to be back home as soon as possible."
I was gonna say, as she comes out the cabin, Jeremiah would be trying to help get the sails down, however he can.
Yeah.
With just being bone tired and probably more of a 80-year-old man sort of speed of walking, but he's doing what he can to try and get the knots tied and things like that, and just
yeah. So she kind of
be helpful.
Yeah, as soon as she sees that you're like helping, she kind of like gives you a nod. You can see though she's kind of used to being on the ship, as disastrous as you know her previous sails have been. She knows what she's doing in terms of it. She kind of does it a little bit quicker, and then kind of comes over and puts her like hand on your arm, and she's like, "I tell you what, I can do this. Why don't you go sit down with your friends or just relax. I'll get you home. I'll sort it." And then she kind of goes up to the wheel and starts kind of turning the ship around to get it on its way back to Waterdeep.
As she turns around, I just say to her, "I feel like I need to do something." And
well, you keep an eye out then, eh? You just keep an eye out, see what you can see.
Okay, and I'll head to the bow and I'll just stand there and scour the horizon. Okay. I'm not going up the mast, I'm just going to the bows and just standing there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tide's just going to head to Endo. I don't think I'm really going to say anything. I'm just going to hand in... I've got a candle in the backpack. So I'm going to light a candle, hand it to Endo, get my pan flute out. I don't think I've ever gotten out of the Nameless kind really before. And just play like a very slow D minor version of the Nameless theme tune.
Oh God. Okay. Trying to break me. Okay, yeah.
This is what you get for all those really good rolls with them spectres.
Well, it wasn't the spectres that killed poor Audrey.
It's not the point. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, so you kind of like the way obviously this team is feeling at the minute, other than Jeremiah, who is doing his best to kind of keeping a watchful eye on the on Pentagon Cove as well as you leave. You don't see kind of the ship raising up or anything that would cause any kind of alarm, as Molly kind of is clearly trying her best to busy herself around the ship. She's obviously steering anyway and trying not to get kind of in anyone's way, or just kind of let you guys do whatever you're wanting to do as you're kind of wandering the ship. She kind of like keeps sailing towards Waterdeep. As it comes in sight, Jeremiah, you would see Waterdeep. You would know what Waterdeep looks like anyway. Like you've been there before. It's a big city in the Sword Coast anyway. So you can see it kind of. Oh my God! Do that, please do that, and send that to me, and then I can just like put it over the top of like some sort of tribute to her.
I might actually try making something on guitar.
Definitely. Yes, definitely send me these things. Do this. Musician friends, do this. But yeah, you can see water deep on the horizon, kind of as it's kind of getting dark now. The lights of the port and things seem to be kind of drawing the ship closer and closer to it. Like you can, as you get closer to the town, you can hear what sounds like laughter and things coming from like just rowdiness from the docks as Molly kind of pulls it slowly in and kind of drops anchor. Kind of just stands there because she's not sure what to really say. Kind of then just looks to Dora Maya, who seems to be the most composed out of the people she's spoken to so far. And she's like, well, I got you here. And kind of gives like a little, like half smile.
Thank you. And honestly, much appreciated. Don't think you'd coped with any other shit.
Well, you know where to find me if ever you need me again. I'm happy to provide my services for free. And she kind of like smiles the best that she can. She's obviously feeling very sad for all of you.
Any chance after this you could take us back to Daggerford?
Probably not tonight, to be honest. It's not too safe to be sailing in the night time, but in the morning, sure.
Okay, thank you. And I'll gesture to the group and be like, let's go find a place of rest, both for us and for Adrian. I'm sure there's an elven temple around here we can take her to.
Yeah.
And I will I'll jump off the boat. Well, I say jump. I'll climb off the boat as speedily as I can. Wait for everyone else, and then just head towards the dockmaster, and just be like, "Do you know where an elven temple is to almost a temple of healing, if you will?"
He kind of like is busy doing something and then kind of like turns and is like, temple? We've got a lot of temples in town.
Any elven?
And Endo would just like carefully like move to Duramaya's side and just say, "Is there an order of Eldath or Ilmata?"
Is there an order of... Ilmata. Does the hospice of what is it? St. Lordspen or St. Lordson or something? It's up in the North Ward. That's something to do with Ilmata.
And
Okay.
how long to get there, roughly speaking?
I can tell you. 1 second. Northward. Where is my Northward? It is way up there. Oh lordy. I don't know which building it actually is, but let's do this time. Because I'm having to calculate it for you. It's like, if you're walking, it maybe like 40 minutes or something. But have you brought... Is Airdrie still on the ship? Where is Airdrie?
Airdrie would be wrapped respectfully up in the blanket and would probably be close to us, but not so prominent that other people would know what that is, if that makes sense.
He's like, I mean, you could take a cart, I guess, and obviously that'd be a lot faster. It'd take you maybe 10 minutes or so.
Right, and the nearest cart is that?
And he kind of like gestures towards like the main road that's just like a few feet away from you. He's like, "You'll find one over there. If that's all, I am busy."
Yeah, sorry.
And he kind of goes back to what he was doing.
Yeah, I'll go get a cart and then bring it over to the guys and go, Il Mater, here we come. And I shall drive the cart up through town to Il Mater.
Okay. Yep, so you kind of make your way through Waterdeep. Those of you that have been there before would know that the city is split into several different wards. Yep. So you have been in the dock ward. You kind of travel up the main, the high road, which is the main road of Waterdeep, kind of past the Castle Ward, past the City of the Dead, which is the kind of the grave area, and up into the North Ward, and find the Hospice of St. Lopston. Yes, we can, and that is where we will have a little break.
Good, because I need to think of how to interact with these clerics.
Are we all back?
I don't know. Hugh, are you there?
No, Hugh's gone. Hugh's gone.
Can I ask? Do you think we would have got a short rest on the way back?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I mean, you were curled up on the captain's quarters.
Yeah, definitely would have had a short rest. Nothing happened to interrupt anything or anything. You were just all sat around doing your own individual things. So yeah, that's fine. You can take a short rest.
Thank you. I would like to roll some hit dice.
Okay.
You're lucky that you roll hit dice because I can't.
Hides immediately in there with the heals. Like,
100%. Don't forget your 5 HP bonus will have vanished.
Yeah, when I took that damage, I did the 5 HP as well because I took it off my normal hit maximum.
Really? Oh, it always
bad
rolls
rolls,
one at a
good
fucking...
yeah,
Excuse me. It always rolls one at a time. Oh, it's so stupid. I don't understand
many
why
you-
it does that.
How
It's
many
so
do you
dumb.
want to roll?
I had 3 to roll, and then when I tapped 3 to roll, and then when I clicked on roll hit die, it only rolled 1.
If you roll just 2d8, then it'll do. Then you can add those on as well without the first 2, because it'll just.
Yeah.
okie dokie.
2d8.
So that's 2 of 13 hit.
17. There we go. 17 onto there. That should do nicely.
Okie dokie. Yep. So you have made your way through Waterdeep. I don't have a map for Waterdeep on this thing. But you have made your way through Waterdeep and up to the hospice. Like the cart, because obviously you told him where you wanted to go, so the cart kind of pulls up. It's like, here you go.
And yeah,
Endo would he'd just look at the person on the counter, like, "Thank you," and he'd give him like a couple of pieces of silver.
Kind of like widens his eyes a little bit and he's like, yeah, no worries.
I will jump off the cart and just look round for like head to the door, because Endo's proved that he's capable of carrying Adri without lots of aid, and would just go inside and look for one of the clerics or one of the priests there.
Yep, okay, so you kind of go inside and it is laid out kind of similarly to like a church. There's kind of pews for people to be coming and praying to Ilmata. Several priests are kind of wandering around. There's a room off to your left-hand side that seems to have some beds in it with people that seem to be either injured or look like possibly beggars or people of that kind that are kind of laying in there. As you kind of come in, one of the priests who's kind of nearby looks up and is like, hello, can I help you in any way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Endo has the little red cords on his wrist, so
I will look at him in the eyes and go, I have need of a place of rest, not for myself, but one of my fallen friends.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. Of course. Come this way. And they kind of like head off. And instead of going to the left where all the beds are, kind of like head you off to the right, where there are kind of individual rooms. Take you into one of those, and there's like a stone kind of slab where you can place Airdrie. The priest kind of gestures and goes, here you go. If you just lay them here.
I'll just, I'll just to Endo to lay Adri on the slab.
yeah, Endo would do.
Yep, so as you kind of lay them down, the priest kind of comes forward and ensures that Airdrie is properly wrapped with the blanket, like making it look even neater than it was before. Kind of like bows their head, kind of say a few prayers and turn back. Like, I assume that you are wanting to lay your friend to rest.
Yes, if at all possible.
Of course. We would happily do that for you. And she kind of like looks down a little bit and then looks back up and goes, we do usually ask for some form of contribution.
At this, I'll just reach into my pocket, pull out a gold piece, and go, this should cover any costs.
The priest kind of like reaches out their hand, takes the gold, like puts one hand over the top of it, kind of bows to you. He's like, of course, anything helps. We try to provide a service here in town. I will see to it that your friend is laid to rest. And then the priest kind of like looks around at everybody else in the group. It's like, I see you are all suffering greatly. The loss of your friend has affected you all. And she kind of like looks from one to the other.
That and other things.
Well, you can feel free to rest here if you wish. There is always a place here with Ilmata for those who are suffering. Sometimes pain and suffering can actually can motivate us and help us to move on.
I just stare at him in the face and just go, yeah, words just fail me, and I just stare at him in that stunned way.
I think Gideon's probably got her hood up and is kind of leaning against a wall a little bit out of the way. And I just go, wait, to the cleric, and I reach into the bag of holding and I'm going to pull out 50 gold. And I'm just kind of going to try and hold it in both my hands and like try and give it to the cleric and say, please just look after our friend.
Cleric's kind of like eyes widen, like as she kind of does a bit of a double take, as she kind of starts reaching out her hands but is very hesitant, and she's like, are you, that is a lot, are you sure?
Please just look after her. And I just push it all towards the cleric.
Cleric kind of like takes it the best that they can, like struggling a little bit, kind of like trying to put some into like little pockets that they've got on their robes. They're like, of course, of course, I will. You have my word.
You will not understand how much our friend meant to us. We fought together, we laughed together, caused absolute havoc. But, yeah.
And Claire kind of like is looking at you like sadly, like can see that you're suffering. It's like, in time, this pain will fade a little, and you will remember the laughing and the times where you caused havoc. And those will be the memories that bring a smile to your face. I will look after your friend. I will see that she is laid to rest, respectfully.
Will you give us a moment to say goodbye to her?
Of course. And the cleric kind of bows and moves out of the room.
Okay, now quick, steal everything.
Jesus!
Oh my god! Oh,
that was OC. That was not a character.
Yeah, I think we got that. We got that.
Okay, so I can tell you what Audrey had on her.
Hugh, if you're listening to this recording in this episode, we're sorry.
Audrey would want you to take what was useful.
Anything we could kill something with, yeah, no, definitely.
So she had the magenta sun saw, which you would obviously know because that was her main weapons aside from her daggers. She had the breastplate of the hearth.
Oh yeah.
It was given to her as a Christmas present, I think, was it?
Yes.
She had a rope of climbing. She had slippers of spider climbing. She had
Oh my god, Gideon needs those.
Yeah.
She kept that one quiet.
She had some arrows. She had 20 arrows. Usual things of like a bedroll, her common clothes. She had two silver daggers. And
that was her most recent purchase.
Yep. And 4 normal daggers. She had 2 hand axes.
What did she have?
Exactly. Her leather armor.
No wonder you guys couldn't pick her up.
A longbow. A shield. A short sword.
Oh god.
A spear.
Fucking Rambo.
Her trophy belt, which was a belt with loops for holding small weapons and trophies, collected from foes vanquished in battles, which I think is where she kept the little pouch that had all the teeth in. The belt
She'd
has
want
the
to be
word
buried.
Nameless engraved into the belt.
Oh.
She also has a paladin token that was given to her by Eckhart.
Oh, wow.
When
Yeah.
she proved that she was worthy of joining the paladin order. She has a basilisk egg.
Wow. Oh God.
And
That's good.
a jade headdress.
Wow.
The sun saw the normal daggers and the shield. I would definitely take from her because she'd prefer to have her silver daggers in my mind
Yep.
on her than
Yeah.
normal daggers.
Yep.
Especially
the
in case she
shield-
gets resurrected or something in the underworld, and it, somehow takes the 2 silver slots. Yeah, she's gonna need them.
I think she should. I think she should keep the trophy belt as well with Nameless on it. That's
Part of me thinks that someone should take it so that we can always remember her, but at the same time, she would want to be buried with her
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
teeth. So yeah.
I don't think I take anything, but I will just like give her not the bee that's on the music box, but my other like jeweled bee that's got the little pearl in it.
Yep.
And I'll just put it in one of her pockets.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just walk away. But yeah, you should have something from us.
Yeah.
I would quite like the slippers of spider climbing
Mm-hmm.
because I think Gideon needs to be like on the ceiling, eldritch blasting things.
Yep. You okay?
And I think we should take the rope of climbing because it could be useful.
Yep.
If everybody else agrees, I can put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah. Yeah, Endo's fine with that. Endo wants to leave something with her at the end of everybody's pillaging.
She also has 462 gold on her. If you're gonna steal her cash as well, guys.
Oh, see, she don't need it where she's going.
That you know of. If only she's gonna be like, oh, hang on, I'll just
Let's
wear
put it this
my
way.
I'll just put my slippers of spider climbing. Oh wait, hang on.
Let's just put it this way.
Grave robbing.
If she's resurrected somehow, the only thing she's gonna need are pointy sticks, and
That's
she's
true.
got 2 silver
She'll be a-
daggers, so she's
she'll
fine.
be a badass anyway.
So I feel like the money should go into the bag of holding, only because if it was Endo, his 2,579 gold pieces, he would want that to go into the bag of holding for everybody.
Okay. Yep. So there's 462 gold.
Okay, I'll put it in the bag of holding.
This is where Hugh pops back in and he's like,
It's like,
no,
oh, nice.
I wouldn't.
Nice, guys. Cheers for that.
I want to keep that, thank you.
I would like to, after I have taken the rope and the slippers and the gold, I have got, I pull out a gold ring that I've got in a little pouch on my belt, and it is, I will have picked it up somewhere along the way in a Nameless adventure, and it is apparently worth 500 gold. And I am just gonna see if it fits any of Adri's fingers, and I will just put it on whichever one it fits.
Yeah,
she's
so
got
it would
something of
definitely
value.
fit. Yeah, it would definitely fit one of her fingers, I'm sure.
And if you see anybody ever in Waterdeep wearing that,
Like
you
Kill Bill
will...
klaxons go off and we finish them. Yeah.
all of a sudden everybody in Waterdeep just dies. Do you not believe in the sanctity of death?
Okay. Is that everything? Have you taken everything from her that you want to take?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave her with a spear because she didn't need a spear, but having a spear where she's going and daggers will probably be enough, given her prowess in battle.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So anybody who is kind of like glancing towards the door of the room would see that the cleric is kind of stood on the outside of the door.
Is that everything? Is everybody else finished?
Unless you want something tied?
Yeah, that's what I was meaning.
No, I'm good.
Endo would walk over to Audrey and he would try and do it so that no one sees. And he would take out his spoon and he took that in the trophy belt. Then wrap her back up.
Okay, is anybody trying to see what Endo is doing?
No, and at the moment, the day's catching up with me, and I'm just, I'm just there in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone needs their space to do what they need to do, so I'm not. I think I'm actively trying not to like watch other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Yep, so Endo, you managed to kind of tuck it into a trophy belt, and then the kind of, as you step back a little bit away from the body, the kind of cleric, priest pops their head around and is like, if that's all, I don't mean to interrupt, but we can start the process of laying your friend to rest.
Endo just bows his head.
Yeah, and I'm just nodding absent-mindedly, just almost zoned out, and like, you mentioned places of rest for us.
Yes. There's, you can either stay here in the room opposite. There are some beds there. I'm not sure how many are free, as we tend to take in any of the unfortunates in the city. There are some inns nearby, though. There's what's the name? There's Froon's Brews just up the road, but it is a bit Or you could try Trollskull Manor. It's been open for a little while now. Some very nice owners up there.
I look at the group and be like, the old school manor. Anybody want to go there, or do you want a random inn down here?
And Endo's probably not even going to respond, not out of rudeness, but he's just going to go anywhere. He's just going to follow anyone. He's not bothered.
Whatever you guys think.
Let's go there.
Oh my god, we've lost our leader.
The cleric kind of like nods as you see like two other priests come in that have obviously got like kind of like shrouds that they're clearly going to wrap the body in, and they start kind of like preparing, like anybody that's paying any attention to them would see that they are doing it very respectfully as they kind of take the blanket off that you guys wrapped as you guys start to leave, and the cleric that you were speaking to has kind of got her head bowed as she's saying some elven prayers over the body of Airdrie as you kind of leave the building.
I would quite like to be the last one to leave,
Yeah.
and I think Gideon just watches them doing that and kind of makes sure that Adri's okay, and she just stands there thinking about her parents who died, and then how Adria always kept them safe and led them at Nameless, and she just stares for a long time, and then she turns and walks away, and that's it.
Yeah. So they kind of they're not being rude when they're not paying attention to you. It's just clear that they're now focused entirely, like these three individuals are focused entirely on making sure that she is respectfully kind of wrapped in this shroud and getting ready to lay her to rest. So they're not focused at all on whether you're kind of lingering in the doorway. As you kind of head out, you're in quite a busy area of Waterdeep, and as you step out you would be able to see your kind of like, you could see Trollskull Manor on a sign that's kind of just literally up the street from you, so like across a main road and down a little alleyway you can see that there is a signpost for Trollskull Manor.
I'll lead a group there then and head towards the manor.
Okay, yeah. So as you kind of head in there, it seems quite a busy little inn. There seems to be quite a few people bustling around. As you head in, you are immediately greeted by a small tabaxi who kind of rushes over and he's like, "Hi! Hello! Welcome to Trollskull Manor! Come in! Sit down! Enjoy! Hi!" And kind of like waves at you all. You would recognise this tabaxi.
Yeah.
Were you at the circus in Daggerford?
Oh my god, it's you! Hi! Hello! You came here! Did you come because... Oh! Did Meg tell you to come here? Because she does that. She tries to get loads of people here. Did she tell you to come here? Come in! Sit down! Sit down! And like, Tyne grabs you by, like, reaches his paws out, starts pulling you towards a table, and he's like clearing some other people away because there's not a table big enough. He's like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, you're gonna need to move. My friends are here. These are my friends. They're here, and these are my friends. Could you please move?" Like these poor like people that were just sat enjoying a nice ale are like, "What? We just sat. No, come on." Over there, look, there's a table right there. That one's fine. That one is a nice table. That's the best table probably in the place over there. If you want to just leave, please, now. Right, off you go. Like, like these poor people like start standing up very slowly, like making their way over there. And he's like, yep, okay. Here we go. I reserved this for you. And he kind of like turns back to you and like smiles.
I sit down, look at him, and just go, "Thank you, but you catch us at a inopportune moment in time."
He kind of stares at you. You can tell he has no idea what the word inopportune means. And he's like, Yeah, oh, me too. Yeah, totally in
We've had a bad thing happen to us, and we'd just like somewhere to rest, if possible.
And like his like cheery demeanor kind of drops almost immediately as soon as you say this bad thing. Like he has these big wide green eyes, his ears have like flattened down. He's like, "What bad thing?"
It's not we were on a mission, and as you see, we are one person short of a full team.
Endo just drops his head and won't make eye contact with anyone.
Oh. Did they leave? Did they try and steal from you and get sucked into the astral sea? And he does like big wide eyes. It's like, because that happened to me and my friends. And he kind of gestures over where like you would recognise that Meg and Furbolg are kind of sat at the bar, kind of just like half paying attention because they're always having to pay attention to what Tyne is up to. Meg's probably like, "Why has he just moved those?" Oh, okay, yeah. Kind of recognises who you are, like gives a little nod. Furbolg's just like, oh, okay. Like, it's just Tyne being Tyne. And he's like,
I look at Tyne and I go, they didn't leave by walking out. They
well,
left.
no, neither did he. He just, poof, disappeared.
Adri has not disappeared. Adri
I'm
just
gonna interrupt at this point, and I'm just gonna slap a handful of gold down on the table and say, and just say, how about some drinks? Tyne, was it? It's good to see you again. Could we maybe get some drinks?
Endo thirsty.
Oh, absolutely you can. That is what we are here for. I will go and, yes, fix that and do that, because that's apparently what I'm doing here. And, like,
thank you.
he kind of, like, scurries off. And, like, anybody that's listening would be able to hear him as he kind of wanders back over to Meg and Furbolg. He's like, oh, I think one of their friends betrayed them. It's obviously something going on.
As soon as
you see Jeremiah just hands on table, head in hands, and just trying not to grimace, just what have we got ourselves into?
as soon as Tyne's gone, I'm just gonna say to Jeremiah, I really don't think it's worth explaining to him what's happened. Let's just
leave it as maybe disappeared. Gotcha.
Yeah.
He seems too nice.
Yeah. Let's just have a drink and raise a toast to Airdrie.
So as you're kind of doing that, anybody looking over at the bar would see that behind the bar is a ghostly spectre who seems to be getting the drinks ready and kind of putting them on a tray. Goes to pick up the tray, and Tyne kind of like rushes over, no, don't worry, I've got this. These are my friends, I will deal with it, I've got it. While again, Meg is like, oh. Like, and Tyne kind of comes over, like, very eagerly, like, almost running too fast for, like his legs are moving too fast for him to kind of keep up. He's like, oh, as he comes over, appears at the side of you, like, holding him, like, whew, oh, okay, here you go, friends, you don't need to pay, this is on the house. And, like, he puts the drinks down on the table.
Oh, that's
Tyne.
That's very nice of you, but we don't mind paying.
Oh, it's okay. We're super rich.
No,
Again, you can see Meg just head in hands at the bar. Perbolg's just taking another drink.
I look at Tyne and I just go, doesn't matter how rich you are. If people come in, they want a drink, please just let them give you some money towards the drinks.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know how to run a tavern. I'm just saying, you guys are my friends, right? We had the awesome time at that fair thing, and it's just, this is my treat to you as a tavern owner. And he kind of, like, straightens up a little bit, like, making himself look fancy.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
You're
Endo
welcome.
smiles and just remembers wrestling with a pig.
Tyne kind of like lingers a little bit, like weirdly at the table, clearly not reading the social cue to leave. He's kind of just smiling.
Sorry, go on, Dan.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, Tyne's got this little, like, bemused, I've just missed this to back to chaos. This is exactly what Tyne needed, just to break something a little bit. I'm just, yeah. Tyne can stay, but Tyne.
Yeah, you kind of like, he's just stood there, like, it was just smiling from one to the next of you as you're all kind of like looking at him. He's just smiling back, clearly got nothing more to say, really. As Furbolg kind of like gets up ambles his way over, kind of like nods to you all. He's like, Tyne, I think there's some chaos going on upstairs with the you-know-whats, and kind of like mimics like wings. And Tyne's like, I've got to go! And like immediately dashes out of like a door and disappears from view. And Furball kind of like gives a nod and then just ambles back over to where Meg is sat at the bar.
I'll just take my glass, let everyone else like get theirs, and just go to Adri.
Adri.
The best of us.
Best of us. I'm really drinking wine at this point.
Everybody actually downing alcoholic drinks now, just to cope with it.
100%.
So as
Just
you
to
kind
get by.
yeah, as you kind of like finish those drinks off, the kind of spectre behind the bar kind of makes its way out and comes and stands and starts clearing the glasses away.
Ugh. What's that?
It's not hurting us. I believe it resides at the tavern.
Yeah,
Maybe?
just to see the last thing that looked wispy and spectre-y like was trying to kill
He
Endo.
looks more form. He looks like a man. It's just like he's see-through. He's just a spectre. He's not. He doesn't look like
still
a ring
freaking,
wraith.
still freaking Endo out.
Yeah.
He's not
Endo's used to
grey,
seeing no.
for example.
Yeah, when Durama's like, oh, he's not hurting us, like he seems to reside here. Lith kind of like looks up and like just nods slowly, and then carries on clearing the glasses and turns and makes his way back behind the bar. And you can see that nobody else, like if anybody looking around would see that nobody else, including Meg and Furbolg, are not phased at all by the fact that he is there.
Yeah, and Endo's not like hostile or anything, but he's sat at the end of the table. He's just like looking around everyone, like so obvious that this like chunky fat sumo head that's just popped around the corner of somebody, whoever's sat in front of him, and he's just like staring, like really bemused, like so confused. Magic and ghosts and things, it's lost on Endo. It's just, he does not understand them.
Could I just...
Don't, oh, for the love of God.
No, I'm not going to do anything to you. I just... Remembering that we saw Tyne and Meg and Furbolg at the fair.
Yep.
Can I just look around to see if there's any half-orc women anywhere nearby, if I can see Ro? Because they were sort of together, so I just want to know if she's there.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah, okay. Wasn't anticipating it, but yeah, sure. You kind of look around, like it is quite a busy, it's obviously quite a popular little inn. It's not massive, but it's clearly quite popular, as, you know, there was barely any tables left except for the one that was magically cleared for you. You kind of like look over at Meg and Furbolg, and then as Furbolg kind of leans back, you can see that Ro is leaning against like where the hatch for the bar would be, with what looks like a small barrel of rum next to her.
Yeah, the hatch is the only thing keeping us stood up.
Yeah.
Excellent. Outstanding.
Honestly.
4 barrels in. That's a 4th barrel. She's
Ah,
just leaning on the
she can
bar.
handle her rum. She is fine.
Honestly, I should know that, but yeah.
I would like to go and drink with them all.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna, I guess, stop Lith from trying to clear my glass away and go over to them, and like slam the glass down on the bar and just say, pour me one of those.
Ro kind of like is a little bit, because she's kind of in the middle of a conversation, and it's like, no, honestly, it was massive. You should have said, I just killed it one, and then like you come along, slam your glass down. She kind of like looks at the glass, looks as if she's gonna get angry, and then registers that it's somebody that she knows, and she's like, oh, hello. Didn't expect to see you here.
Didn't expect to see any of you either, but here we are.
Well, they own this place, but when you say one of those, and she kind of like reaches her arm out and like puts her arm around the barrel of rum and like pulls it a little bit closer to her. She's like, you just mean a drink from the bar, right? Kind of like not angrily glaring, but just like looking at you as if to be like, come on.
It doesn't have to be yours. I just want a drink.
Oh, well, that's fine. And she kind of like, hey, drink. And Liz kind of like comes over, pours a rum. So it's still rum. It's just not rose rum. And then it kind of like wanders off again. This Ro kind of like pours her own drink from her barrel, like eyeing Gideon a little bit, like as she starts drinking. She's like, what brings you lot here then? Kind of glancing over at the table of everybody else.
Endo waves when she glances. He's like proper like a. He's got half a smile. It's not his usual big smile. It's like a half smile, but he knows that he recognizes Ro, and they shook hands and gave high fives, and so he's like.
She gave him back his spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. She kind of like raises her glass and like nods.
Yeah, he's happy. Well, as happy as he can be at the moment.
Yeah.
We're just in town on a mission. Kind of went a bit wrong. Actually, we lost somebody today.
As you kind of say that, there is no like, there's no confusion with what you mean. Like, this is not time.
Yeah.
Like, Ro kind of like takes a deep breath. She's like, who?
Adri, do you remember her?
And she kind of like squints as if she's really trying to remember. She's like, I think so. Tall, elf.
That's her.
Things.
Yeah, millions of weapons.
I liked her.
Me too.
And she
I like
kind of-
Gideon.
Oh, so go on.
Sorry, go on. I was just going to say, as she said that, Gideon gets a little bit upset again.
Ro kind of like watches and then puts the glass down, like making sure that no one look like she's still got one eye on it, as if to be like, don't reach for that to anybody. Like, even if Liv came and tried to take it, she'd be like, right. And kind of like reaches and puts her hand on like Gideon's shoulder, this massive half-orc hand on Gideon's little shoulder. She's like, I understand, you know. I know what it's like to lose a friend.
Yeah, it really... It's just the worst.
She kind of like... It's almost like her eyes glaze over a little bit. Not like she's about to start crying, but it's almost like she's remembering something. And then she kind of like shakes it from her head. She's like, yeah. Did you manage to... Are they... Did you get the body?
We weren't leaving her behind.
And at this, she kind of like, she is nodding and she's staring directly at you. You can tell like that she respects that completely. She's like, yeah, I wouldn't leave him behind either.
I'm just
hitting all those things, aren't I?
Yeah.
just raise my glass and I say, to fallen friends.
She kind of like grabs her glass immediately, clinks it with you. She's like, to fallen friends. And then like raises it up and looks upwards and goes, Varys and takes a drink of the rum. All the while, Meg's just like looking like.
Basically, Meg is just like just there, just staring at Ro, just there.
Pervo's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just drinking.
Can I just be really, really cheeky, Lynn, and just like hint that in a dark corner of the bar,
Oh God, it's
there's
like a reunion.
Yeah, there's somebody completely unconscious on the floor in full plate armor.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Surrounded by loads and loads and loads of empty fucking like glasses and pictures and yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to Meg. We've seen her by the bar, and just get up to her and just go. Do you actually have any spare room at all?
Go, Gideon, go. Oh, go on, go. I am role-playing Meg. I'm not role-playing Meg when you're right here. I'm only doing Furball because, like, Josh isn't here.
See, this is why I was saying that Eckhart's over in the corner completely unconscious, because I don't want to do Eckhart. This is Endo time.
Yeah, Meg would, like, drag herself away from looking at Ro, I guess. And I'd be like, yeah, we got rooms upstairs. How many do you need?
4.
Sure, just take them. It's fine.
You're certain about that? Don't mind paying for them.
It's fine. I've heard about Adri. Was it?
Yeah.
It's just stay here tonight. It's absolutely fine.
Cheers.
Endo just starts crying quietly.
And I'll just head back to the guys and be like, as I pass Gideon, I'll see that she's mid-conversation with Ro and just leave her to it, because last thing I want to do is interrupt those two at any point, and then just get back to someone and go, we've got beds for the night. Tried to pay for them, but they didn't want any money, so yeah.
What if we secretly leave a little pouch of money when we leave? Then they can't do anything. They have to take.
Good idea. We can do that. I don't mind leaving these people a little tip.
Can I just add on that Meg comes over and just, like, I don't know, plonks down a bottle of rum or something in the table for you all, and just says, just don't be alarmed if you hear any weird noises upstairs.
God.
And don't go. If you go to the first floor, don't go into the second room on the left. Just avoid that, and you'll be fine.
Why?
No reason. Just got a VIP staying there at the moment. Doesn't want to be disturbed. It's absolutely fine.
Okay.
But remember which door I said.
It's not the sitting on the left, first floor. Got you.
Endo just looks at his hands and he's like, wait, 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then I just go.
I'll open up the bottle and just start like trying to find just look around and just look for a glass, or just do like, you know, stuff it, just swig from the bottle and just start drinking and pass it round.
Yeah, Endo takes a massive drink and then passes it to Tide.
Tide, who hasn't had any alcohol or substances. And nat one death save.
Oh god.
Drinks deeply.
Oh lordy.
Oh lord.
And makes a mental note for the second door on the left, I guess.
You drink deeply, and then the DM turns around and goes, "Okay, Tide, can you make your rolls through a whisper?"
I just look at you two and just go, "Don't worry, I'll make sure we don't do in that room."
Endo's oblivious.
So as like Meg comes back kind of thing, and Ro kind of like leans to look at you guys as you're like drinking from the bottle. She's kind of nodding approvingly, like, yeah, that seems good. And she's like, ugh, enough of this. Stands up and goes, right, everybody out, and like starts shooing everybody that isn't you guys out of the like tavern. She's like, come on, and she's like reaching for a like great axe because people are literally going and like getting up and like running out, and then she starts bolting the doors, and she's like,
all the commotion. Eckhart lifts his head up like that, sees his sister with the axe chasing people out of the pub, and he's just like, whatever. Just puts his head back down.
Kind of like as the last people leave, these poor people that had already been moved once are now being like shooed out, and they're like, like still got the glasses in their hand, and she's like, yeah, go on. So like shuts it, like locks the thing, goes, right, more alcohol.
I look at
Endo claps his hands. He's like, ooh, yay.
More alcohol? With respect, Ro, I'm done. And with the day we've had, safe to say, I think most of us are done.
Endo stands up and he goes, Endo ready?
And as if Jeremiah just head back in his hands, and he just like, he's just staying there with just his head in his hands, just like, oh.
Yeah, Tide, who's had exactly 2 swigs of wine, stands up, sways, and he's like, yeah, me too.
Like Ro kind of like goes, just walks behind the bar. It's quite clear that like she just does what she wants in this bar. Like she's just made herself quite at home. Like he's grabbing like bottles, kind of looks at Meg and like grins, as if for some sort of approval, as if it's gonna matter either way, and then like just carries on with what she's doing. Slams loads of like bottles down. He's like, here you go, come on, best thing to do.
Yeah, Endo just grabs one and just rips the cork straight out and just starts going glug, 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 glug. He's loving it.
Yeah, this like Rose slaps him on the back like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Grabs her barrel, turns the tap of it, like holding it above her head, so it's like literally pouring into her mouth and all down her chin.
Yep.
I'll take one, open it, and just. I'm just gonna make that one last all night. I'm gonna be and like doing it too much about it to be like that one bottle is gonna last me the entire night now.
I think Gideon's just gonna go for it. I think that I've never been drunk before, and this is gonna be a messy night for Gideon.
Yeah.
Before Gideon goes for it, can I just shout, Gideon? And then as you look to me, can I just wink and give you bardic inspiration?
Amazing.
DM Constitution save?
Yeah, so you're gonna basically this continues for quite a while. We're gonna roleplay the whole evening because we will literally be here all night going, and then as it goes more and more mental. So this continues for quite a while. Ro is consistently being like, yeah, you know, like anybody picks up a drink and she's giving him a slap on the back, much to obviously the smaller members of your party's dismay, because she is heavy-handed,
quite
even
strong.
when she's not attempting to be. And you kind of like drinking. I would like anybody that is drinking alcohol to roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah, because I'm imagining the one bottle lasts all night and this, and I don't.
No, yeah, you'll be okay, yeah, because you're being careful.
Endo's just opening them, drinking, drinking.
God.
Yeah. He's gonna be hanging out of his house.
Surprisingly, whether it is just that you guys are fueled with all the adrenaline and everything that you've been through.
Emotion.
Tide and Gideon, even though you're like putting away quite a lot of alcohol, you kind of just get like sleepy. You just become like sleepy drunk. So you kind of like both sat in the corner, like leaning against each other, like, oh, I loved her, you know. And you're like, yeah, me too. Like, you're
God.
kind of like, just
Everybody move away from Endo. Don't let him fall on you.
Endo, you are just throwing him back. You're just like, next one. Ro is sat.
He hasn't stood up yet, though. He hasn't stood up yet.
Ro is sat beside you, like, encouraging every single drink. Like, she's getting more and more, like, drunk herself as you are literally drinking this tavern dry.
Yeah.
And, in fact, I'm going to make a save for Ro as well. Let's see if Ro manages to
live.
Stay on her feet, because if not, that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, who's going to hold who up?
It's okay, Ro got a 17. She's stranded. She's stranded. So yeah, Ro kind of like is literally getting to the point where she's happy to share her rum. That's how drunk she is. She's now happily sharing her rum. So she's now kind of like Endo, and like holding it above your head, opening the tap, pouring this like neat rum into Endo's mouth, and then it kind of is like laughing and joking. Stands up, sways a little bit, and she's like, well, time for bed, and kind of like reaches out her hand to like help Endo get to his feet.
Endo gets up, he's like, yeah, Endo tired.
Yeah, as she kind of like reaches out, like pulls you to your feet, and then kind of lets go, assuming, you know, that you're going to stay standing like she does. She starts walking off. Endo stands there, like stationary for a little bit, and then just starts swaying back and forward, and then just falls straight forward, flat on his face.
Doesn't
put his hands out or anything.
Endo tired, and then just falls.
Jeremiah walk past Endo.
I'm going to say, there's no way you can lift me. Drunk and dead weight.
Definitely not in Doramia's state as well.
Just stop and just like, you know what, I would do, but it's just I haven't got the strength.
Just put a little cushion under my head, man. What's wrong with you?
Just you're passed out. You wouldn't know there was a pillow and a bedroll, to be fair.
Yeah, just a pillow for comfort while I'm laying there unconscious.
Yeah. Ro kind of like starts laughing, like not showing any sympathy whatsoever. Like she's just laughing her head off, kind of goes over to Meg, slaps Meg on the back, and she's like, oh, did you see? Can't handle his drink.
Starring.
No, not as good as you.
Exactly. And she kind of like puts her arm like around like Meg's shoulders and like pulls her in for like a drunken hug.
Meg's like living. She's delighted.
She's literally like, this is where I want to be.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So kind of assuming that, you know, people start making their way up at the
To the floor?
No, well, not Endo. Endo's staying exactly where he is. He ain't moving anywhere.
Yeah, he's not
but
going
everybody
nowhere.
else, like, Ro will kind of, like, start helping, like, Gideon and Tide, and obviously Duramiah doesn't really require the help. He's fine. Up to the, like, separate bedrooms or whatever, kind of puts you in. They're not, like, super-duper fancy bedrooms, but they are pretty comfortable. Like, the beds are comfortable. Kind of get yourselves settled. You've all had drinks and things, so literally you've been exhausted emotionally, everything. As soon as your kind of head hits the pillow, you are out and asleep for the rest of the night, or what is left of the night. You can all take a long rest and a level up.
Oh.
Oh. And
Right, long rest, and then leveled up. Yeah, reset everything. Cool, and level up. Ooh, yeah, I know where I'm doing my level up.
Yep, so you don't have to necessarily do all your level up stuff right this second, because assuming that you're not going to go back to Nameless and start like attacking Talisker, which would not be a sensible decision. As you kind of wake, as you kind of wake in the morning, you each would kind of become aware, except for Endo, who is still downstairs asleep. You would each become aware of like almost like a not frantic knocking, but very excited knocking on each of your doors, like running from one to the next, one to the next, one to the next, and you can hear a familiar voice be like, "I've got breakfast ready." Well, I didn't do it. Obviously, I wouldn't do that, but I've got breakfast. It's downstairs. Downstairs. Friends, breakfast. Breakfast.
He just, Jeremiah will just go, right, okay, and roll out of bed. Just be like, yes, it's time. And then, yeah, I'll just start heading downstairs. What state do I see Endo in?
Endo is still asleep on the floor. People are like moving around him.
What state is the floor in? It's £392. Is it cracked?
No, it's fine. But yeah, people are just like moving around him, like kind of as you come out of the room and start heading downstairs. Like Tyner's kind of already gone ahead of you, so as you come in downstairs, Tyner's kind of just like easily hopping over him, acting as if like, yeah, that's fine that he's laying on the floor, as he's kind of like rushing around trying to help set the table and things, as the poor spectre of Lith is just like rolling his eyes all the time as he's trying to like maneuver around Tyne. Tyne is clearly being more of a hindrance than a help, but he thinks he's helping, so they just let him do it.
Bless.
Tyne, you mentioned food. Where do I find it?
He kind of like does this very like dramatic hand gesture towards one of the tables that is laid with like a pretty nice, there's some cooked stuff on there, there's some breads and cheeses and things, and he's like, here you go, I did this all by myself with help from quite a few other people, if I'm honest. And he's kind of like thinking, and then he's like, well, and he kind of like lowers his voice and leans a little bit, and he's like, mainly they did it and I kind of just watched, but Meg sometimes says it's the thought that counts.
I just nod in that way, just like agreeing, just let him just believe what Meg said, and I'll just be like, thank you. And then I will head over and load up a plate full of food.
Okay, yeah. So as you kind of do that, Tyne wanders back over and is sat next to Endo on the floor and starts poking at him with his paw. And he's like, "Hello, it's time to wake up." And then kind of like looks at like Meg, who's just kind of come downstairs, and he's like, "Do you think I should lick him?"
I wouldn't if I were you. You don't know where he's been.
Oh.
No, I lick him all the time. Lick away.
Okay. And like immediately, as soon as any sort of thing to be like, oh yeah, you can lick him, like Tyne like lets out this big sloppy lick all the way up Endo's face.
Yeah,
which is actually Endo's him casting Cure Wounds, but you don't need any healing anyway.
Endo's just like, Endo ready. Endo ready.
At this, Tyne kind of...
Where's Endo?
Tyne kind of turns and looks at Meg as if to be like, I told you so. And then kind of like jumps up and goes, Endo, there's food over there, and like points towards the table.
Like you say food, and his eyes just opened a little bit wider. He's like, "Where's Endo? Where food? Endo ready? Ready?" And Endo starts to get up.
Endo. Troll School Manor.
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, where's the food? Where's the food?"
Tyne stood like literally pointing at it with his paw, and kind of like he looks at his own paw as if to be like, "Am I not pointing at it?"
Yeah, he just goes straight over to it, and he's just sat down. He's got like a pitcher of water or wine or whatever, and he's just grabbing plates full of food, and he's just like nomming away. Very happy Sumo. For the most part.
Kippers? Any kippers? Fish?
Tyne's like nodding and like again like gestures very dramatically towards the table.
I mirror the gesture and immediately bound over. I lick them all to claim them as mine and just take the plate.
Amazing, yes, amazing.
I think at this point Gideon probably staggers in, looking very worse for wear. I think the side of her hair that's a bit longer is probably just sticking straight, like sticking up and like messy. And yeah, I just kind of like come over and I'm like holding my head, and I just go, "Oh, it's too bright in here," and like snap my fingers and cast darkness.
Like Endo doesn't even notice. He's just nomming away.
What is like the radius of that?
It's 15-foot radius.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it'll be all around.
Yeah, okay. Because I was gonna say if you just plunged like Titan into darkness, he's gonna freak the hell out. But he's probably out of that because he would have wandered back over to Meg by this.
And yeah, I don't. So I can see through it because I've got my special magic eyes or whatever. And so I just sit down at the table and start eating food.
So everybody else can't see.
I don't care. It only lasts for 10 minutes as well. So
yeah.
Endo's eating by smell at this point. He don't give a shit.
I feel like Ty's just nomming away on the kippers like, I'm good, I'm fine.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so you kind of eat away, fine. Eventually the darkness kind of like fades away. As it fades away, anybody looking would see that Tyne is stood where the darkness had just reached to, and he's been like obviously putting his paw in, taking it out, putting it in, taking it out. And he's been there for ages, and then as it starts to fade, he's like frozen with his paw like in it, going, "That was weird. Did you see that?" "Well, not see it. I couldn't see a thing. Just black."
It's called darkness. You ever heard of nighttime?
He kind of like crosses his arms and then goes, "I'm not stupid, you know."
I just raise an eyebrow and say nothing.
He kind of like looks at the floor a little bit and then just turns and walks back over to Meg and like slumps on one of the bar stools.
Oh, Meg would definitely like put her arm around him and just say, "Don't listen to them," and like ruffle his ears a little bit.
Immediately he's cheered up again. He's like, "Okay, that's fine. What else can I help with?" And he's like looking around like for things to do.
You could maybe help me put these glasses back that everybody was drinking out of last night.
Okay. And it's like immediately starts like piling them up to the point where it's like he's put one glass in another and another and another and another to the point where it's like so high that he's like walking along going, "Oh, ooh," as he's doing that in like the background while you guys are all sat eating.
The Leaning Tower of Glass. Eh?
Yeah.
Wow, Endo chonk.
Well, guys, we got two choices. We can either go back to the cove or see Talisker.
I do think we need to finish what they started. So I agree.
And does have time to reflect a little bit, you know, him and the floor. And he looks at Gideon. And this is incredibly uncharacteristic of Endo. And he just says, Gideon's right. We should kill every single one of them.
Oh my god, it is a 3-shot. Sorry, Lynn.
I was like, oh lordy! I was like, oh, clearly they're gonna head back to Talskar, and then when they get back there, we can pick up there next time with Hugh's new character and the new guy. And you're like, ha! I think not, my friend. So I will just say, if you are planning on heading back, then we will have to fit in another session in between now and when the next Nameless session will be.
I'm fine with that.
Because obviously I've already told the new person that will be joining the date that they will be expecting to play. And I don't want to be like, haha,
well,
I'm putting it off another month. And Hugh, because it means Hugh would have to miss another session.
I feel like they should just listen to this episode and get to this point and then just accept, like, because this new person's gonna have to learn, okay, that this is Nameless. And this is what goes
but there
down.
would be no reason for those two characters to suddenly join you at this point. So they would.
I mean, shit, they might have to rescue us, but yeah.
That's assuming Talisker would send people to rescue you.
Yeah.
Big
true.
assumption.
Yeah, Talisker wouldn't necessarily
care.
Send people after us just yet.
She wouldn't necessarily know that there's anything.
Yeah, she wouldn't know, and if she did, she probably wouldn't give a crap. I get that impression from her.
Yeah, I mean, Endo, as much as I admire your willingness to return there, we, dare I say, we're under strength.
With that, Endo will respond. And he turns to Duramaya and he says, Duramaya, after the battle yesterday, and after the long sleep on the floor last night, something strange happened. It came to me in a dream. I think I know how to hurt. And then he like looks at the spectral creature that's possibly still in the bar, and he leans over and like, ghosts. I don't think we have to worry.
If we are going back, I retrieve the sensor from my backpack. We'll need some time first, because this blade going to need to adjust to its new owner. At least I think that's what you did to it initially.
I don't say that, I'm kidding.
As you're kind of sat with and you get the sun saw out, you feel another like whack on your back as you look up and see Rose standing there with a massive grin on her face. She's like, how's everybody feeling today?
And already
groans.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Ro and be like, how do you think we're feeling?
well, and she kind of like looks towards Gideon, goes, she looks even worse than, I mean, normally she looks a little, kind of like, is obviously struggling to basically say normally she looks kind of dead and now she looks even worse.
Fair.
So she's like, you'll be fine anyway. Nice weapon. And she kind of like is looking at the sun saw.
Yeah, it was hers, but he no longer needs it.
Ro kind of like drops her head a little bit, like nodding.
And now, with this, we're thinking of going back to the cove where we lost her. Finish them off.
Kind of like,
Audrey would never leave a job undone.
Ro kind of like smiles. Like, I like it. I'm with you if you need me.
Endo stands up and he like does the whole predator thing with Ro, hoping that she grabs his hand and they like got both strong hands squeezed together, like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh right, yeah. I was like,
yeah.
What predator thing? You're gonna be like, I'm going to rip out her skull.
So Endo stands up and he just like puts his arm up to grab hands with her and like squeeze biceps and squeeze fists together, and he's just like, does Ro accept?
Absolutely, yeah. Ro kind of like slams her hand into his.
Yep.
They're both kind
Endo
of like
just goes,
squeezing.
he nods his head and he's like, Endo ready. For Audrey.
Welcome to the team, bro.
And she kind of like nods. And she's like, I know what it's like to lose someone. Don't worry. I'll make him pay.
I look at Adir and go, the things we've been fighting either stayed in water or were spectral.
She kind of
Anything
like...
you got hurt those things?
She kind of like reaches back and lifts up a great axe, and as you kind of like, as she lifts it from her back, you can see it like shimmer with magic, and she gives you a grin. She's like, I kill everything.
That I can imagine.
As you're kind of like stood talking, you can, anybody with like a passive perception, probably over like 12, because you know it's not being, can see that Tyne has been like edging his way closer to try and be like listening, like, but not make it look like he's listening. As he's kind of like, and then like as Ro's like, oh, I can kill anything, Tyne gives up any pretense of being like, oh, I'm just stood here not doing anything, and comes like bounding over. He's like, what are you doing? What? I can help. I help things. I can help.
I look at Tyne and I go, you want to help?
He like nods with big wide eyes.
Have a chat with, is it Meg? See if she fancies a little sail across to a cove and help us finish a job we started.
Okay. And like Tyne immediately runs over. He's like, Meg, we've got to do things. We're doing things. Adventure. Let's go. Like, and starts just pulling her like away from where she stood, like putting glasses away. It's, come on, adventure.
I look at Ro and I go, is this usually Tyne's way of doing things?
Pretty much, yeah. She's just like shrugging. She's like,
it's getting Endo really giddy.
yeah, like Tyne is just literally trying his best to pull Meg. Now Meg is pretty strong, and he's literally like pulling on one of her arms, both these like little back legs, like trying to pull it, going, come on, adventure. We're doing something. I don't know what though.
What's going on?
Adventure. And he's like got wide eyes. It's boring here. I'm bored. Just sitting here and making people drinks, and I'm bored. And I don't think any of these will be horrible to us like the other person that we don't talk about.
Well, they might not want us to go with them, Tyne.
No. They said to come and
Endo
get
shouts
you.
over towards where Megan is, because obviously he can't hear the conversation. He's like, "Here you comings!"
See? Like again, big wide eyes.
Meg just looks to Ro. And like...
Is Rose stood there sharpening an axe?
Rose just stood like still trying to show off her axe, just like have you seen it? Like looking at Durham, going, look, it's a good axe. Look at it. You know how many people I've killed with this axe? And like she's just like rambling on about the axe.
Yeah, Meg like cracks her knuckles and looks at Ro and is like, "Do you want us to come with you?"
Ro just gives her like a wink and he's like, always.
Why you gotta play Meg like that?
She ain't saying no to Ro.
He definitely isn't.
An incredibly intoxicated paladin lifts his head up, looks up at all the commotion. Looks up at all the commotion, and he's just like, no, it can't be asked. He just lays back down and goes to sleep.
I was just like, it's better off no. Right, where are we going? Like, just stands up, puts her axe back on her back, and is immediately ready to go. Like, she's like, I don't need no prep, let's go.
Endo ready.
You say that a lot.
And then, like, he picks up, he just goes, no, wait. And then he picks up another, like, loaf of bread and a bit of meat, and he's like, okay, now Endo ready.
Ro kind of like leans down, looks at the food, picks up some meat, shoves it in her mouth, and she's like, Ro, ready.
I just, at this point, I'm gonna stow the sunsaw onto my belt and just go, anyone coming with us, we're going to the harbour. There's a boat there that can take us to the cove. And that's a job we were doing beforehand when we lost Adri. So, if you want to come, we're heading to the harbour. We'll meet you there.
Meg, we're going on a boat. It's a boat. We're going on a boat. And at the mention of a boat, Ro looked at me. She's already green. But she literally, like, her eyes widen a little bit, and she's like, we're going on a boat. Right, yep, how, when you say boat, how long are we on a boat for? About, maybe, do you know?
Hours, if that.
No, it's not long. It's not long.
Oh, okay. Yep, sure, yep, okay, that's fine. That is
I look
fine.
at Ro and I go, if Endo can survive 3 trips on a boat.
Yeah, so the people that don't survive 3 trips with Endo on a boat, though.
I am certain someone of your prowess can manage 1, maybe 2.
Yes. Do not get seasick at all. I am fine on boats. Yes. I just need to grab some rum. I'm gonna need the rum.
That's fine.
And she kind of like wanders off.
In the harbour.
Ty hasn't said anything this whole time, but they're like, they're just staring straight forward, and they're like, you can fully see like this ghostly blue aura around them, and their eyes are just white, like bright white, and they just say they're gonna die, and the ground like tremors.
Ooh.
Stands up.
Okay, that's kind of creepy. I'm gonna be honest. That's creepy, right? And she's like, and Tyne kind of like looks at Meg like.
Mendo turns around and just pats Tide on the head, and he's stroking. He's like, "Tide, not creepy."
My eyes immediately turn back to normal and I just lick Endo all the way up his face.
Oh, I do that too. And Tyne kind of turns and puts his tongue out as if he's gonna lick Meg.
I'm all right. Time. Why don't you save that for when we really need it?
Are you sure?
Yeah. You keep us safe when we get to where we're going.
Okay. And like he still stood there with his tongue hanging out, like just like looking around. And at that point, we will end the session. I am going to kill you guys.
Yep. Yep.
Because if you do that,
I don't know how we got from that. I was like, this is going to be simple because they're going to do this, possibly finish the mission. Then you were like, no, we're not finishing the mission, we're off. And I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, I can work with that. That's cool. Then we end up with like a roll call of previous characters. I'm like, all right, yeah, we can go with that. They're going to go to Talisker next. And you're like, sorry, we're going back. And I'm like, what? Sorry. Sorry, what? Okay, we're going back. So, that is absolutely fine. What we will have to do, like I say, is try and schedule something in between when we would have the next session so we can wrap this one up. And have you actually go back to Nameless so you can meet the new people that Hugh is very excited about you meeting.